right, welcome to the What They Won't Tell You podcast. I am the Honorable Armani, joined with a few guests.
It's your boy Mozzie.
Sierra.
Simon.
So before we jump into some spicy topics, you know, Mozzie and Diamond, we all know each other here. We've given our views on the dating perspective, but Sierra, I do want to bring you into our world kind of in terms of dating. First, get your thoughts on what you've experienced. My little monologue right now is a lot of men have given up on dating. A lot of men have decided that dating isn't for them anymore. 50% of men have stopped approaching women. 63% of men have decided they want nothing to do with women, whether that's marriage, relationship, situationship, anything, casual hookups. They don't want anything to do with women. They pretty much have left the game because they feel like there's no value that women are providing in terms of like kind of what they're looking for. They feel like it's just a lot of effort and it's not valuable. From the women's side, what I hear a lot is like it's not enough qualified men. Women have a decent list of standards, and it's not a lot of men that kind of fit the standards that they're looking for. So on both sides, what we're seeing is just like men and women aren't getting together as much as they did in the past. What's kind of been your experience dating, like, so far? Are you dating? You in a relationship?
Yeah, I'm single. I'm kind of dating. That's kind of the vibe it is right now. But I feel like the whole, like, argument of, like, what does a woman bring to a man is kind of, like, it's kind of crazy to me because it's really only an American thing. Because if you look at people in other countries, like, they marry, they don't even know, really the person they're marrying. They just know, okay, I'm getting married to this person. I'm going to be, I'm going to provide for them. And then, whatever they do, they're going to match me. So I feel like it's not like a what can you do for me? It's like, how can we do for each other? That's really how I feel. But I feel like dating out here is hard because you have to deal with, it's just so many people. Like, this person talked to this person also might have messaged your friend. Like, it's just so many weird little things and intricacies that you deal with. And then also, it's like if you date somebody out of town, and it's like, okay, y'all might vibe, go do the whole trip thing and whatever. And then it's like, okay, you go back, and then, it's like, just kind of just is like a loop of like people not being on the same page, or then, you just find like a lot of people have secret girlfriends, wives, all type of things. So that's really been the struggle right now. But yeah, I feel like I'm in my stage of like finding myself. I'm 25 now, so okay. I feel like, this is my like, I'm not in my early 20s now. So I feel like now it's time to embrace this new part of my life. So I've been really getting to know myself. Like, I date here and there, but it's not like a priority for me. I'm not looking for anything, if that makes sense.
Is marriage like a long-term goal for you? Or?
Yeah. I came from a married household. Like, I was a planned child. So, it's just, like, my mom had me at 35. And my parents, they met in college, got engaged, got married, had me. Like, they did everything. They're not together anymore, but they did what you're, supposed to do. If that's what you follow. If that, that's what you do. But, they had the right idea in mind. So I do believe in, like, still finding, like, your match. So, yeah. Definitely think marriage is important. I definitely value it. But it just seems, like, so hard to, like, really think about, like, the people these days, this generation of, like, people don't really value marriage. And some of their parents might not have valued marriage. Some people are, born into situations where their parents are not married, or, they're viewing their mom might be in an abusive relationship, or their mom might, have troubles with men, and then their dad might not be around. So it gives, like, our generation a difficult chance to even start a family because we don't even know what it looks like. So that's just my thought.
Okay. Mozzie and Diamond, what's your thoughts on the current state of dating?
I'll let the girls go first. I'll be a gentleman. Let the girls go first.
I feel like it's hard. I think there's a bunch of things that are kind of happening in terms of like from the male and female perspective. I feel like it's a bunch of like almost conflicting ideas. Like, I feel like some people might think, I heard a lot, like, you know, about there being too many options, and then like certain people feel like there's no options. I feel like a lot of people try to date. I don't want to say like above like what you are, but I feel like a lot of people don't kind of like mitigate their like expectations. And I think that there could be just a little bit more of like reasoning when you're out there trying to date. I personally am not single, but when I was, I felt like just running into people who were pretending, like, I just felt like it was really hard to kind of figure out if somebody was being serious or intentional about you. Like, that was always the hard thing for me. I'm like, I just thought it was really hard to figure out whether or not somebody, like, as a woman, it was just really hard to figure out if a man was taking you seriously or not. I feel like that leads to like girls having to play games to kind of figure out who's taking us seriously. I feel like that, you know, men on the other hand, they have to like play games because they don't want to like waste their money or their resources on somebody for a girl they don't think is taking them seriously. And then you get into all of like the, you know, women trying to use men for money and men trying to use women for pussy, and it's just like it's a bunch of stuff going on.
There you go.
And it's like it just makes it hard because no one's being upfront about their intentions and no one's being upfront about what they really want because everybody's just a little bit out for themselves.
Right.
So thank God I'm not having to do that anymore.
Right.
All right, what you got?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I think to Diamond's point, I think that it's like, of course, I'm not in the field either, but from looking at statistics and hearing other people's secondhand experiences, it's kind of all the same kind of thing. And you think about it like, you know, there's a large amount of issues on the women's side, there's a large amount of issues on the men's side, and you're trying to figure out like, what's the best route to make some or see some change, you know? And I think to your point, like intentionality is important to kind of see that, but I just think that it's tough. It's tough because a lot of people aren't doing the work, and it's kind of like, it can kind of feel hopeless for some people. I know a lot of my friends are still out there in the market, and it's kind of like feels almost hopeless, and it's just like, you know, I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. Like, it's just, I don't, man, because I sit there like we can write down a whole laundry list of what men should work on and what women should work on, but I think that we got away from the ultimate goal, which is marriage. I don't think people are excited about marriage. I don't think it's not excited culturally for us to be married, you know, and so I don't think there's a big push or incentives to push people in that direction. So that's why people aren't being intentional or people aren't doing the work to heal, to put themselves in better positions. So it's like, you know, maybe it's systematic, you know, maybe it's something we have to do. Like, what can we, you know, there's a lot of thoughts, I think. So,
Okay.
I mean, we could dive into it.
Yeah, I want to start with effort. We'll start with the topic on chivalry. Is chivalry alive or dead?
Alright, fellas, I'm finna help y'all take a woman on a date, cause you boys are lost out here. You gonna send her $20 to $25 and say lunch on me today. And if you one of them dudes that think sending lunch money is tricking, then you need to take your swimming trunks off and get out the dating pool. Make reservations. You know how impressive it is to a woman walking into a 5-star restaurant with her date and he say, yeah, I have reservations for such and such and such and such. She gonna lose her shit. She gonna be like, him. But before the date, bro, go to the mall and get you some grown and sexy attire. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can spend $50 to $150, bro. When you go pick shorty up, never go empty-handed, bro. Absolutely always take flowers. Show up to the door with roses.
All right, so that's the main crux of it.
Yeah,
He's gonna be
Yeah,
talking.
he gave his game
He
plan.
had a lot of points. There was a lot of points.
So here's my thing, right?
There we go. Break it down.
Sierra, you don't know me, but I'm gonna go far right with this.
Far right is crazy.
So everything that he said, it was just money. It was as soon as you wake up, send her some money. Take her to a 5-star restaurant.
I believe as soon as it wake up, it would send her a good morning text.
Good morning,
Grand
text.
Rising.
Okay,
Grand Rising,
Grand Queen. Here's
The
$25.
second was money, yes.
Money. So yeah, $25 on the wake up. 5-star restaurant, you're looking at about 300 to 400. That's about 325. You got to go to the mall to get clothes. He said about 150 for that. So we at about $500 now. The flowers, that's another 50. That's $550.
That's trash flowers. You spend
trash
about
flowers.
40,
You
50.
get you get a $20 12 rose bouquet from the grocery store.
See, that's
That's what I'm
cheesy,
saying.
bro. Go ahead.
That's
My bad.
He already spent $1 million.
You already 500. Oh, you might as well go.
Whatever.
Might as well go.
You
So
might.
yeah, $550. Gas, parking.
I gotta pay for the gas, whatever.
Do the whole cost breakdown.
That's
Okay.
damn near $100,000 when you add it up.
Why black people round up like that?
What happens
You went
is-
from $500 to $100,000.
So he's spending money.
Yeah,
He's,
I don't know how. I don't know.
all right, it's
That's
probably-
boy man. You know what I mean? Boy man.
Right, boy man.
It's about,
There
all right,
ain't
it's
no
about,
$1,000 date. Nobody in DC is going on no $1,000 date
But
unless
the-
you go to the club.
but the reason this video is going viral, it's over
Yeah.
1 million views. All the women in the comments, oh yes, if a man don't do this for me, he's a scrub. Everybody's going off. This is what the women are parading around. The guys, they're not going for it. But he's leading with his wallet. And my thing is, like, a lot of times when guys try to impress you with gestures, it's because they're not impressive. He doesn't sound like the type of man that can impress her just by his own aura, by his own character. But I want to get the group's thoughts on, you know, what do you think about his approach? Do you like it? Do you think it's something that men should do?
I mean, look, I'm gonna just start off with this one. I want to separate the gestures from like his personality, right? Like, I don't agree with leading with the wallet, but I'm not saying that like there isn't a room for you to be romantic with a girl that you meet if you so choose, right? The whole sending money out the gate, that's not my thing, but if you want to get some flowers and make a reservation for a restaurant, I think that's a cute thing to do if that's what you want to do. If that's your angle, I still think that you need to have some interest in be unique as an individual and lead with that too, who you are, that uniqueness that we all have. But I do think some of those gestures are gentlemanlike, and I think that if you're trying to make a good impression or you're trying to like, you think this might be a girl that you desire or you want to take to the next level, like there's nothing wrong with showing kind gestures. That's not a thing that you do all the time because you end up going broke that way. If you're trying to date 5-10 girls at a time and you're spending this kind of money every week, that might not be, you know, financially responsible. But I think there's a fine line. Depends on like how far on the spectrum of, you know, romantic you like to fall on. You know, at the same time, I think that if you create standards and boundaries for yourself, you know, when it comes to like dating, you might not need to have to go into all these details, and you can still save your pocket. But at the same time, like, you know, you might not get all that comes with that, right? Like, you might get a lot of appreciation and verbal love from a girl who, you know, when you share all this, but you might not get the end goal, which might be, you know, obtaining the woman long term or whatever the case may be for you. So, I mean,
So you support it?
I don't see you. You're jumping there. So I support it. I'm not saying
said if it
I
was a girl
support
that you
it.
see the
I think that like if it was a girl that like for me specifically, if I was interested in a girl and I really liked her, we got a number and we were texting and talking, and I was like, you know, I'm not on that spectrum of a romantic guy that like I will come out the gate with flowers. But if I'm like dating you and I like you, I'll make the financial investment.
Well, that's the thing. He never said it was a first date.
Well, I mean, the kind of
He
way.
didn't say it had to be a first date.
But I'm assuming. All right, okay, you're right.
That's
Fine.
That's
fine.
okay,
Hey,
just I don't want to interject, but
No, that's
I just
fine.
want
Go
to
ahead.
drop a little comment. Like, I think, in my opinion, this is what you do if you just dated, however your dating is, whatever that looks like for you, and you're probably ready to make this girl your girlfriend. That's what I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with anything he just said. If you're about to like sit down and be like, you know what, I think I want to make this girl my girlfriend. Like, what do you think about that?
yeah, I mean, some of the things that I mean, again, it's a
And then
spectrum
some of
on
the
it.
stuff he said didn't cost any money, like opening the door.
Oh no, man, that's
That is
just.
such a thing for me. I literally got into it with somebody, left them in Miami, everything. Like, over the littlest things because I just felt like I wasn't being treated nicely. It had nothing to do with money. It was like the fact that...
Y'all came to Miami together and you left him?
No, I met him out there.
Oh.
But it was just the fact that I was wearing heels. The ground was like shaky. I needed help. And I'm like, can you please help me with the door? You're rushing to get in the club. Like, that's so corny to me. We could have waited. Nobody was leaving us. It wasn't that serious. Like, in that moment, I get like sometimes, okay, like, we're just running whatever. But it's like, if you know you have a lady dressed up, we're going out in heels, like, you need to see what's going on the other side of the door. Like, that's crazy. Like,
No,
why am
yeah.
I trailing behind you? We're supposed to be, you know. So for me, it's the little things. It's not even about the money. you're spending. It's like, if I'm not being treated right while you're spending money or whatever it is we're doing, it's like, what is the worth? Like, you're not even, like, you're a loser for real. Like, that's what, to go to your points is like, he doesn't really have, like, some of these guys, they have to leave with money because they don't really have the personality or the just mind capacity to know how to really talk to a woman without, like, oh, hey, I have money. Because that's the thing, like, all this society just shows, like, oh, everybody wants to live this lifestyle and whatever, but it's like, the people behind the lifestyles that might even have money, they're not nice people. So once you get the little gifts or whatever, it's like, then you have to deal with the real person, and it's like, you don't even want to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's just,
I mean, so to his point, I understand that, like, yes, you might think he's a simp, and I think the way he's saying it, he could be, right. But
you know,
again,
clickbait,
I'm
though.
just right, which is fine for him. But I'm just thinking, like you said, if I think this is like, for me personally, like, if this was my girl and if we got to that stage, I don't see doing like something like that for my girl as a problem, right? Like, hey babe, let's go out to dinner tonight. I got you, and I get her roses. I mean, I probably already have a fit.
Might even get a driver,
but
like, you know, just really.
But I look at it as an investment if there's reciprocity in the relationship. So I know that, like, all right, this girl's also interested in investing in me. That's not a kind of a bad scenario. Again, it depends on where you fall on how romantic you are, because some guys aren't romantic, and that's okay for some women, and some guys fall fully on the romantic side, and you could internalize that as being a simp to a degree if he leaves with his wallet with no other personal traits or characteristics about the guy. That's just kind of like...
I mean, I have to take the video for what it's worth. He said, how do you take a woman on a date? This is his standard. So this is
first
what
date almost.
He's practicing.
You don't know that. This is just social media. He just made like a 5-minute long video.
I mean,
it's
maybe...
got this many views. He's about to run it up. Like...
Okay, so make the assumption he's talking about a first date then, because we don't really
That's
know.
What I'm saying.
So let's just take that. Yeah,
he's trying to give some game, and everything that he's saying is cap. That's the problem. It's just like,
we don't know these people.
Wait,
that's what they're really doing.
Why is it cap?
I'm saying like
to the cap point, I don't believe it's something that you should be doing for a girl you just met.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me. I know that's not you.
Honestly, that's love bombing. Low key. That's low key a red flag.
He could have insecurities for doing something like that. Again, leading with your wallet. You don't have anything going for yourself, so you turn to this.
Whole video. He works for a trucking company.
It's not a trucking company. It's Roto-Rooter. It's like a plumbing company. It's not Roto-Rooter?
It's Ryder. I've seen the video already.
All right, you watched the video more times. I thought it looked like Roto-Rooter to me.
And nothing wrong with truckers, but my thing is like, you're not making the type of money to be spending $550 on every time you take a girl out on a date.
Right?
So
yeah. That's not smart to do that.
It doesn't make sense. But back to chivalry. Back to the chivalrous point. A lot of men are saying like, okay, y'all want men to be traditional, but women aren't traditional anymore. Y'all know what a man's supposed to do. The man's supposed to take you out on a date, throw his jacket in the puddle, open the doors, pull the chair out. But women aren't traditional anymore. So I do want to get thoughts on, if women are expecting men to be chivalrous, what's their responsibility on these first dates?
So what
What do you mean by responsibility?
Or what's their role like? Or do you think there is a role for a woman on a first date?
I mean, what do you like? I don't know. We have to elaborate on it. Like, I don't know.
So
like,
in the sense of like, I look at it like reciprocity, right? I'm taking the initiative to take you out on a date, right?
Right.
I might pick a spot, make a reservation, and because it's the first date, I might pay because I'm interested in you, right? Now you're interested as well. So what do you think you would do to show your interest in return? You know what I mean? Like, we went to Ruth Chris or something. We had a great time. We texting, and you want to hang out with me again. Would you do something like, oh, you know what? Let me take the initiative and plan something. Maybe if it's like let me cook a meal for the guy. Or, how many dates in do you wait until you do that,
I don't know. I feel like, for me, if we're on the stage of like, okay, we're really kicking it, whatever. Like, I might order breakfast. I might pay for a haircut.
How many dates in till you get there?
A little bit. I don't know. It depends if I like the person. Cause but it also depends. Like, it's kind of, if I'm feeling the energy there, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have to really feel that energy from you first for me to start. Cause that's the thing. Like, you might do something for somebody, then it's just you know, it doesn't go how you.
I mean, I got your
expect it to
number.
go.
We texting, we
You know,
FaceTiming,
okay,
you
then-
vibing.
But we should go on a date. It
I,
doesn't
we,
always
I
have
planned
to
a date.
be-
I did. We planned it. We went
Okay,
out.
So I might plan the next one, but like you still gonna pay for
That's
it.
what I. Okay.
It don't have to be.
That's what I want to get. All right.
There we go.
All right.
But listen,
Let her land.
No, yeah, go ahead.
it doesn't always. I was just gonna say it doesn't always have to be some 5-star experience. It's
Right.
not gonna be. I'm not gonna run nobody's pockets up, especially if we're seeing each other multiple times a week. Now, I don't really just let people to my house at the point where I feel comfortable to let you to my house. Of course, I'll cook. I cook every day anyway. So it's like
Right.
once I feel comfortable enough to do so, yeah, like it ain't nothing. Like I done made breakfast before I had to go to work. Get up, like I do all that stuff, but it's like you don't want. You know, it's like I'm not gonna give you that whole girlfriend experience without you committing that to me. Like me personally, I'm not doing too much too
So
soon
it doesn't matter who the guy is. Even if you really fuck with that guy out the gate,
I just
like
feel like
would you?
me knowing what I know now, you just can never give too much of yourself. You always have to remain a little bit like reserved because I feel like you come too strong, and that could be men or women too. No, it's just like you can't come off too strong, or you know, you just respond when you feel like. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Do you think
So
that?
my thing, listen,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I hear what you're saying, but from my experience, when girls see the guy that they like, they see the Michael B. Jordan, or they see the guy that's 6'5", you know, with tattoos or whatever, the Tyrone. They don't make him go through all these hoops. Like I always
That's not
say,
true.
girls make rules for the guys they don't like, and they break them for the guys they do. So what's happening right now in dating is guys are saying, well, she's making me pay $550 to go on a date, but another guy, Tyrone, can come and not take her on anything at all, and you know, have sex with her quicker than I can. And the problem with the dating market is men don't like being discriminated against. So it's like the chivalry thing for me is like I typically say be chivalrous to a woman who earns it. Don't just be chivalrous to every woman out the gate because you can get finessed. You'll get finessed. Girls will go on dates just to get free food. They'll save your number in their phone. It's Pizza Hut. They'll do whatever. Like, so.
I don't know. Men need to have more discernment then. And you know what's crazy? I had to tell my boy best friend this recently because like he'll do these little girlfriend experiences. That's what I call because it's like you got the girl for the weekend, you get the hotel, you're going out to eat, you're doing this whole elaborate thing, and it's like I'll be like, does she even like you? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and I come from a perspective of somebody that's been on trips with you, that's been out of town, whatever. So it's like I know like if I really like the person, like. They do, they will do for you just because they want to. Like, I don't require it, but it's like, what you do, I'm going to appreciate it, be gracious. It's always about gratitude. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm doing all of this for you, and I'm just like, oh, thanks. Like, it's like, I'm gracious as well. And I think, it's just like little things like, okay, you took me on a trip. I got you Starbucks in the morning. Like,
hold on.
Let me stop playing though. But I get what you're saying, though.
Is that the equivalent of a man takes you on a trip and a $4 coffee
Yeah.
macchiato?
Starbucks is $8.
Starbucks like $20 for two people. We both get breakfast sandwiches and we both get drinks.
Oh, okay.
The shenanigans that I get,
$25.
And I don't do milk, so that's an extra charge. Non-dairy charge.
But he taking you to like what, like DR or something? Like,
No, I'm talking like Miami. There's some
Miami.
but the thing is, I can go to Miami on my own coin. So it's like, if you want to take me to Miami, cool. We can vibe. We can do that. But like, I feel like a man should know, like, coming in, what type of life I live and what type of stuff my friends and I do. We go on expensive dates. We go to RPM. We do all of this ourselves. So it's like, I could see if I was the type that like I might not be able to afford it or I can't. Like, I work, So it's just like, I feel like I can give myself this type of life. So if it's not adding up, then
You mentioned
That's how I
trips a
feel.
lot. Have you done a trip as a first date or is,
That's tough.
can you
Wait,
can
hold
you
on. Go ahead, my bad.
can you like talk? So
I want to get into details of that.
yes,
I wanna
how did
understand
that
it
come
worked.
about? Like, how'd you meet him? How'd he?
I'm gonna talk about my ex because he's the first person that ever flew me anywhere. I'd asked my mom's permission, and I was 18. But it's funny. We met in Miami on spring break the year prior. I was a freshman in college. We just vibed real good. We got each other's information. Nothing really happened, but it was just like we kept in contact. And then just randomly he calls me and was like, "You want to come to Miami?" I was like, "Yeah," because he's from Miami. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." So he just got the flight. Got the hotel. We went to Barton G. We went to Ruth Chris. We went to the beach.
Hold
Like,
on. So,
He skip all these steps.
He was 2 years older than me though.
You were in college. He's in college and he's paying.
I was 19 and he was 21.
And he's just paying for flights and Roof Chris. Is this?
Yeah,
like
I mean he played college football, so he had
Okay.
he had some money. But I didn't know his. I didn't know like his finances. This is what he had planned. I'm 18 years old. I've never did this before.
It's not your problem.
So I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that at all. Like at 18, 19, what were we doing? Going to Chipotle? Like nothing. Like nobody had ever did this much for me. So anything that happened, like I was appreciative automatically because I had never been treated like this before. But it was like literally after that, it was like, okay, yeah, like we were just together. Cause it was just like so like, put together and planned and thoughtful. Like, I just kept coming out there and then it was to the point we ended up living together. So it was just like, I don't know. I think sometimes an investment when done right like that, it works. Cause that was a 2-year relationship. Obviously we're not together now, but it was like, we're not, I call him right now. He answered like, we're cool. So it's not like,
Yeah,
did he set the standard like after?
He did. After that, I was like, oh no.
I gotta get flew out every time.
But I'm not gonna lie. Like I always told him, like you were the first person to show me a lot, teach me a lot of things about myself. Cause living with somebody at 19, like I had to cook, clean. I was still living at home, so I went from my mom's house to somebody else's house, like taking care of a whole place. Like I didn't work. I went to school though. I went to school out there. I was in Tallahassee, Florida, so. I didn't work, but I did take care of everything in the house, like clean, cook every day, unless we went out to eat. So I understood there was a difference in like, okay, this is when we're on vacation and this is real life.
Right.
So I feel like in a relationship, like you say, there is reciprocity. There is like, I'm doing a lot for all of us. So it's like, obviously I couldn't contribute financially at that time, but I contributed with what I could, which was, whenever you were hungry, whatever time of day, night, I'm making it like on the spot. That's just how I was. Whatever needed to be done, I was doing it. So.
But you said that left an imprint on you. So now when you date, do you expect to be flued out?
No, I don't expect it. I just feel like, okay, it's more the standard of how I was treated. Like this person, he never let me really know about like his finances or anything. Like I don't really know what all was going on, but I will say like he never made me feel like, oh, I can't do this for you. He always made it happen. Like, it wasn't nothing super like, oh, we're in Chanel every day. It wasn't like that, but it was just like the little things like, okay, if I wanted to get my nails done, like, here's the money for your nails every 2 weeks or whatever. Like, just little things like, okay, if I want to go to Target and get random shenanigans, like, like, it was just, he made it happen. Like, I don't expect that, but I just know, like, there's a person out there that whatever their financial state or status is, they'll make it happen if they love you and they care for you. Like I said, I don't expect that just when you meet somebody. I expect them to, like, if they grow to like you and care for you, that, they will do those things for you. And they'll try their best because they'll want to make you happy. That's how I feel. Like, don't we date to be happy? I want to make my partner happy in the ways I can. I might not be able to pull out $500 every week, but whatever it is, like, I like to find what that person likes, whatever it is.
What it's open to everybody, but what is the role of a man and a woman in relationship and marriage? I want to get some thoughts on that.
So when you asked your initial question, you said if women want men to be, I forget what word. I don't know if you used the word traditional. Women want men to be more chivalrous, more traditional, whatever, but women don't want to be traditional. I disagree with the way you phrased it because I feel like if we are thinking, I feel like the problem is not that women aren't trying to be traditional in the beginning of dating, because I feel like the traditional woman in the beginning, they were being catered to a lot. Like, I think after they got catered to, after you dated, when you got engaged, then you had to like really kind of show up. But I don't feel like, now I will say I feel like a lot of women aren't clocking into it when they should. But I think in terms of like that phrasing, I think there needs to be more reciprocation at the beginning because it's not so traditional anymore. Like, for back then it was, a man would come, court you, date you, just like make you feel like they could take care because women couldn't do anything. We couldn't have bank accounts. We couldn't have jobs for real. We couldn't do anything but housework. So I feel like in this day and age, now we can do stuff. So I feel like it's not so much so that women don't want to be traditional. I think, or that women don't know how to be traditional. I feel like they need to like kind of tap into it like earlier. Like I just kind of feel like if a guy takes you out on a date, spends their money, spends time, you like the guy, like the next thing you could do is like, for me, like if a guy did all that the man was talking about, if they woke up, good morning, I got consistent text messages every day, he sent me $25 for lunch, planned a very intentional good day on Friday, then the next week, me personally, I would probably send him money for lunch on a random day. I would try to like, if I liked him, I would try to reciprocate like what it was. Me personally, if I didn't like him, I apologize for you spending all that money at the beginning, but I mean, I wouldn't let you continue to do that. Like I wouldn't go week after week and let you spend the $500 every week. Right. But I'm saying, I don't think that's a traditional thing though. I think that's like a modern
So when
idea.
men say traditional, what they're saying is, you want me to be chivalrous to a woman who has potentially been sexually promiscuous. Back in the day when they were being chivalrous, it was you kind of knew that the woman that you were getting wasn't sexually promiscuous. And that's why I bring up the Tyrone thing of like, you may be doing these $550 dates for a girl who was, being sexually promiscuous for $0, or what I mean?
But the gag is you want me to be sexually promiscuous with you too. Cause like y'all don't want to take me out on 10 dates and I'm not sleeping with you. Y'all don't want that. I'm wrong?
I mean, 10 dates is different than... So, I'm saying what men aren't getting in the end, like, you want me to come out the gate and be traditional. I got to know how to approach you. I got to know how to plan the date. I got to open the door. I got to send the Uber to pick you up. I got to get to the restaurant.
And you're saying
early,
you do all that and now you don't get a virgin.
Well, you're not getting the other traditional aspects
right.
from the woman.
But I'm saying y'all don't want that. Y'all not looking for virgins.
They're looking for women that are not sexually promiscuous. That's the point.
I think there's a big difference between that and a virgin, I guess.
But still, okay, so let's say I have two bodies. I didn't only get two bodies by sleeping with everybody who went on a date with me. You see what I'm saying?
The average body count of a woman right now is a lot more than 2.
What is the average? Because I know you have the number.
I think for a 25-year-old woman, it's close to 20.
Armani is a book of statistics. Just so
I
you know.
feel like at the end of the day, if you don't know the girl's past history or anything, she could lie to you. I could go to whatever city in the world and be like, "Yep, this is my first time," and lie.
See, but if you have discernment, you can't lie about character and behavior.
No, you're right. I'm just saying, you'll never know.
Up.
Some women, people will change their name, go to another city, become a whole different person. So
but
I just think those little things are like, okay, these little intricacies, it's like, that doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I feel like we can't. I feel like traditional is for if we're thinking about marriage. If we're just having fun, going to get hookah and drinks and whatever it is, you probably like me a little bit. We're probably going to have sex, whatever the case may be. Like, why am I going to be traditional with you? If you don't see me as somebody long term, what are we even doing?
Well, that's what's happening. It's transactional. A lot of times the guy's pretty much, he's using his money to try to expedite the process to get sex.
But that's how you date. There's bride prices in Africa.
I think that's different.
Else in the world.
It's different.
It's different.
It's different though, because like in that case, like I get the woman immediately, like whether it's an arranged marriage or not, like you're
getting her for marriage.
I'm just saying for marriage. That's what he's saying. But what we're saying is that like you're spending all this money. Like out the gate.
What is all this money?
Well, we're talking about the $500 homeboy was talking about.
But like that, but we already I feel like we already said that's not realistic. Like that's not realistic every week. If you're dating someone, you see them once a week.
These dudes are doing it.
That's not a realistic thing. That's all I'm saying.
let me break it down. And what we're seeing in the country and in DC particular to where we're at. I personally see a lot of guys that leave with their wallet. I see a lot of guys that'll buy the tables, buy the bags, buy the shoes. They're just trying to use money to try to get the women, and they have nothing else to offer. And they're like, I'm gonna just pay my way. I'm gonna pay to play, and they try to see where it gets them. I don't see the other way around of like men really trying to like get to know women and like court them and do all that. Like I see guys trying to get it the fast way through the money. and they're simping trying to do that. They're not leading with like who they actually are.
I don't know. I just feel like I've experienced a lot of things. Like I have stories and stories, but I will say like a lot of the people that have done a lot for me, they actually did really care about me. There have been some people that did things for me on the first date. Like I literally had somebody buy me a purse the first day they met me. Did I ask for it? No. They did it. I was like, again, I was young, random. I don't know. The pandemic, people were, you know how that was. But I just feel like stuff happens like randomly to me. I don't ask people for anything. That's what I think. I think everything just happens how it happens. But I don't ask for it. I swear, like I literally do not ask for nothing. So I just feel like it's not like a woman being transactional. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not transactional with it. I can't speak for the popularity of women and everybody else in the population. But me personally, I don't accept anything from anybody that I know I don't like. And I just feel like that's wrong morally. Like, if I don't like you, it's like, why are we doing this? Like, you could be friends. Like, okay, hey, like, oh, me and my girls will come to the club, whatever. It could be like that. And, we could be a good vibe for each other. But that's it, I just feel like dating, it shouldn't be transactional either way. Like, okay, because you spent this money, you're like, okay, well, what's happening later? So I just feel like, me personally, everybody should date in their financial range that is good for them. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you, you should stay in that. Because don't feel like you have to go do the most. If that's not what you're comfortable with doing, if you can't pull $500 out every weekend to go on a date with this girl, don't do it.
Do you think there's a certain amount of money, when a man spends a certain amount of money, do you think that he expects sex?
Of course.
What
some
dollar
don't,
amount?
And some do.
What dollar amount would you say that is?
It's about 500 to 1,000.
So
it happens though, but that could be the club, and I don't just just because you took me to the club, we could have went to what's that, Shoto, the club, after hours, moi moi. What? That's a night. You bought me flowers. Them flowers in the club. That's like $50 to $100.
So you don't get.
I had fun. Peace.
You don't get hesitation when a man spends a bunch of money on you. Like if a man flies you out, you don't have a hesitation in your head of like, oh, he's expecting sex. You don't think that.
Me personally, okay. So here's the thing: if I'm going out of town with somebody, I've usually talked to them a little bit more. There has been times where it was like a first date, like with my ex. Obviously, we did have sex because the vibe was just great. It wasn't like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like expected, but it should just be natural. It shouldn't be like, yeah, so what's up? Like, it shouldn't be like that. But I've had times where I did go out of town and I left somebody because they were acting weird, and I got my own place to stay, or I went with my friends, like whatever the case may be. So I feel like as a woman, if you're going out of town with a guy, you should at least be comfortable enough to sleep in a bed with him. Like, it shouldn't be, or you should get your own room. Like, I'm not against getting my own room. Like, if you pay for my flight, I'll get a room for myself so I feel comfortable, if that's what we're doing. But I don't know, like me at this day and age, I'm not getting on a flight with nobody I don't already fuck with. Like, I'm not doing the get to know you out of town shit anymore. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not. Because I done did it and it done went wrong, all type of stuff. I done left, just changed my flight, like.
So for you, you feel like if you
I'm not taking chances.
Right. So you flew out, and the minute it gave, I flew you out, so you should sleep with me. You just
or you, just you not left. Even that. Just the vibe was just off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Men would trick themselves out of some shit. Like, just from just like literally the night is going the whole opposite way. Like, you don't have to worry about nothing. Like, I will pay to change a flight. That's the thing. Another thing my mom always told me. Don't go nowhere if you don't have money to leave.
There you go.
You don't have money to... And another thing, I don't go nowhere without a return flight also. But sometimes, if you want to change your flight to earlier, you got to pay for it. And I will. So it's just like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like if you can't afford to go to the place you're asking to go to, you shouldn't even be trying to do that. Because what if something happens and you're out there and you got $200 in your account? Now what? You're out here with this man, you don't know him like that. And you're just looking crazy. So that's how I feel.
Do you, if you had a son, would you want him flying women out?
I do have a son.
You have a son. Okay, my bad. Would you want your son flying women out?
So this is the thing, right? Little Aiden is a superstar. Like, my son, he's social media and everything. Like, his dad plays football, so Aiden's already blessed beyond measure. So he got money. So it's like he's gonna have money. He's gonna be a young dude, like, growing up with money. So I've already put it in his head, like, at the end of the day, you gotta make sure whatever you do for somebody, make sure it's worth it. Mm-hmm. you know, because he's gonna have access to different things. Like even the other day, he was walking around with his wallet. I was going to the Trey Songz concert. He was
The
like,
7-year-old?
yeah. He was like, here's $100, like in case you need food, something. My son said this to me, my 7-year-old son. But mind you, like his dad, you know, he slide him $100 here and like he had like $800. He was walking around with $800. I said, what are you doing? But anyway, you know, that's just him. That's a very different situation. But like Aiden, he's gonna be blessed, so it's like he's gonna deal with a lot of that. People are gonna know his dad. People are gonna know like he plays football too. So it's like if God's willing, hopefully he'll make it to playing college. Hopefully, you know, whatever. So I feel like that's a whole different ballgame because, you know, it's gonna happen. And Lord knows what the kid's gonna be doing in 10 years from now when he's 18.
So your son's father plays professional football?
Yeah.
Do you find that you're dating in the industry or like?
Well, I dibble and dabble. I try not to because I feel like it's just a bit of a conflict to me. And I feel like that's another thing. That's a whole other topic. Like I feel like people perceive me a certain way, or they feel like, oh, like you're used to this because this is XYZ. I'm not gonna say the name, but this is XYZ. So you're XYZ's baby mother. Da da da. Then I'll get people that are really like fans, low key, of him, and then they'll try to like talk to me, and it's just so much weird stuff that comes with it. But we were like in high school together, like, you know, so it was just like that was my high school boyfriend, whatever. You know, we're cool now, like everything co-parents and whatever. But I feel like people perceive you a certain way because they expect like, oh, well, you have all this, or you have this, or you must be getting this, but they don't really know what really goes on.
Wouldn't that make it dating in the industry easier? Or
no, not really, because honestly, like, he knows a lot of people, so I've had people be like, yeah, I can't talk to you anymore, like, I kind of know such and such, so I'm like, ooh. But, you know, these men, like, athletes, they don't want shit, really. They don't want shit. Like, my ex was, like, the exception to that, because, like, he really wanted to, like, be together and, like, pursue a family and all of that. But, like, most of these dudes, they just want to have a good time and a good vibe, and that's just up to you if you want to be a good time and a good vibe or you want something serious. But half of these dudes, they got girlfriends, wives, all type of shenanigans, and you wouldn't even know. But that's why I don't really like the industry. Like me personally, like having, you know, dealt with different people, whatever, I just feel like now I just want to deal with somebody that's low key, you know, hardworking, driven, business oriented. You know, it's not about a certain look, or I don't want the flashy, all of that, because you don't even have to have Instagram. You could just be, you know.
I want to talk about, since you bring up, I guess, being intentional. I find a lot of women are not prioritizing marriage as much as they used to in the past. For me, primarily, it's out of fear. Maybe they experience some trauma and they're avoiding it. And they're not putting themselves out there in a certain way to actually get something serious. What do y'all see? Like, you know, from the women between y'all friends, like, do y'all think women are prioritizing marriage? You think women are prioritizing marriage now?
You want me to fix that?
No.
I mean, I don't know if the culture is pushing. I don't see it. Let me not say I don't know. I don't see the culture pushing people towards marriage. I hear that, like, you know, I think for a lot of people it's kind of like the thing to do, just like going to college was the thing to do. People, you know, it's just the next phase of life. But I don't know if I don't hear the excitement like you would have it before your birthday trip or something like that. Or I'm not comparing that to marriage, but it's just like something that you're excited to look forward to, and you're actually interested in what it could be. And you're really intentional about who you're going to do that with. And I don't think there's a big push. A lot of people are, I think, and I would say kind of fear. It could be fear from trauma because we've had a lot of casual dating in our youth. And like, because we have so many different partners, we're like afraid of not getting the right person, or we're afraid of like, there's so many choices. I'm afraid of ending up with the wrong person. And then like you delay or prolong, marriage for yourself. On top of all the other issues that we're having.
You good?
Yeah, I'm okay. I didn't know she was chuckling at me, or it was a cut. But yeah, along with all the other issues that we have on top of that, I think it has to start from the culture. You know, human beings, we're big on community. So if it's the community's pushing it, you know, I think more people would look into the positive side. But then when you look at the statistics, you know, 50% of marriages end in divorce. Men aren't approaching women. We're looking at all these kind of like, I would say like roadblocks that kind of get you, I guess, kind of makes you afraid a little bit. You know, I think that, you know, there's that on the men's side, and then there's the whole, I don't want to pick the wrong person. I don't, you know, want to end up feeling, you know, like I'm settling or something like that. So I think if we can find a way to kind of get the culture to be on the side of marriage, I think we'll find more people wanting to do it. I think we also have, as a culture, have to outline the benefits of it, show the importance of it, not just for your own personal life, but for the far future and what that might look like for the society that you're going to leave your kids with. You know what I mean? So I think in that sense, like, you know, if we have more inspiration, more people publicly that are married showing insight to their lives and showing, you know, insight to their journey and how doable it is and how beneficial it is lifelong, I think people might roll into it more, you know.
So in the black community, black women are the least married group out of all races. Even though they're the most enrolled in college, you know, and as women have advanced in their career, they've gotten more degrees, they have most opportunity they've ever had. It seems that culturally, black women have decided to prioritize career and fun over marriage. You know, you look at the statistics, and it's like the average age of a black woman getting married is, I believe, around 32 or 34, where, you know, 50 years ago it was a lot less. And so the issue comes into play of, like, as women chase their career and they chase the good time, what does it do to society? What does it do to black families? Like, you know, the older women get, also it becomes more of like a high-risk pregnancy, you know. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I think people don't think about it until it's too late. Like, oh, I'm done. I had a good time. I'm 30. I'm ready to settle down. And now you're trying to dig through the dating pool and it's trash. And, you know, like, where does that get us in a sense?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll let y'all go ahead.
I feel like, honestly, we need to stop giving people like marriage things like babies and shacking up and all that. That needs to cut, because it's like, why am I gonna marry you if we're already basically doing what a marriage is? We just haven't like sat down and had the commitment. So with that being said, I feel like it has to be a more intentionality with getting pregnant, who we're getting pregnant. And I say this as somebody that had a child that was not planned, but being a child from a marriage that was planned. So it's like, I know what is supposed to happen. Like my sister, for example, she got married at 23. She's been with her husband. She's 36 now. 13 years, 12 years, however
kudos
long
to
that
them.
is. So, you know, like sometimes when you know, you know. So I think a lot of it has to do with us thinking we have so many options out there. And sometimes, like, honestly, I feel like if somebody is really like serious about you, you should take them serious, and then we can figure it out. Like, are we really gonna be together? I just feel like social media makes you feel like you have all these options.
Yeah.
It's like making you question yourself, like, you know, just a lot of that. So I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like living together, I don't really recommend that before marriage. I feel like, you know, people, that's a big debate, but I
heard that
feel
too.
like,
Yeah.
you know, me personally, I have an apartment, I pay for it, but I feel like if I wanted to seriously be with somebody and they have a place, you know, it's different when you're living with somebody else's place and in their space. I feel like, you know, okay, let's do something together. Like if we're getting a property together, we both have our names on it. We both, you know, but that's something you do when you're getting married. People are literally buying houses with people that they're just in a relationship with. And now you've signed this paper, this document, you're on a house with somebody, and now that's a whole other debacle and everything. So I feel like marriage is still important to those that kind of view it as important, but to a lot of people, they're just like, you know, well, you know, I'm in a relationship, I have a baby, like he's my man, but they try to make themselves feel better for like having settled. Because like for example, like okay, like I think it was like a thing like Queen Naija, she's been with like her boyfriend Clarence for like maybe like 7 years, 8 years. They have a child, they live together, they live in a house together. Exactly, because you done gave this man all this. What does he have to get on one knee for? Like, there's no incentive. So I feel like, you know, I think. Oh, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. So, in a relationship, how long do you feel like marriage should be an option? Like, how long do you feel like in the relationship, like, or when do you feel like marriage should start to be
Like a
a
conversation.
The next step, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like, wait, moving to the next step, or the conversation about I'm interested
Well,
to
both. I
marry?
guess the conversation, and when do you feel like if you are with this woman, let's say, like, I mean, for me, I would say 2 to 3 years, because I'm not giving you more than that. If we're still figuring each other out and we're still, then we just don't need to be together. And I think we should all just, not hold each other. I just feel like that's a long time, like, me personally. But what do I know? I'm 25. I don't like no more.
I mean, for men, it has a lot to do with where they are in their lives more than anything.
That is
So
true, like financially, you're speaking.
yeah, if I'm a man and I'm just running the streets, then I'm not having a conversation at all with any girl until I'm really in a place where I believe that, like, I know what I'm doing in my career, I know where I'm gonna live, or I know what's going on in my life. I have a vision for my life, my my future family, etc. It has more to do with where I am. And a lot of times they'll say, like, a man doesn't marry the person he loves, he marries the person that he's with when he finds himself. So a lot of times it has to do with, like, when he really gets the chance to, like, settle down. Okay, I'm with this person. Let's go. For women, I think it has more to do with when we talk about, like, people are married, but are people successfully married? Because you could be a woman and you could be married and you could still want to do the street thing. You could still want to go out on the girl strips and all that. But that to me isn't. You got the ring, you got the title, but are you really doing it in a way where it's gonna, like, be sustainable, where it's gonna be like a thriving marriage? So, women. The culture right now is pushing women to do the ratchetness, it's the sexy rays, the gorillas, the Meg the Stallions. That's what's being paraded in society. There's no feminine.
Beyonce's
woman.
in there.
I feel like that's so crazy to say that. Like, that you're saying there's nobody pushing femininity. There is. I'll give you an example. She's a black creator, Nara Smith. I love her now.
Is she black?
She is. She's half African and she's, I think, German.
Well, they told her that she's a slave on TikTok.
Well, I don't know what they're talking about, but
So she cooks everything from scratch.
All she does is show how much she loves her kids and her family, and she cooks for them, and she posts that. But that's the thing. I don't think that there's a society that's pushing this. That's half of these people on social media are 21, 18. They don't need to be worried about marriage. I feel like the majority of the 25 and up are actually more serious with their life. I feel like when you think of social media, you're thinking of Gen Z, you're thinking of 18, 19-year-olds. They can go be ratchet and do whatever. They're kids. Like, these are young people, 17, the sexy red. That's the people that looked up to it. I don't know any grown woman that's my friend that's talking about, Glorilla said this, sexy red said this, Cardi B. Like, nobody is really seriously taking that seriously. Like, I'm just saying me and my own life, like, me personally, I'm focused on so much more than that. I feel like we just think like, social media, but that's young people on there. That's not, people our age.
I see the opposite. What I see is the women that are past kind of their prime, early 30s. They're like, okay, well, the man hasn't come for me. I'm gonna just live my life. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And that demographic of women is actually on antidepressants at the highest rate ever. Women are depressed. They're trying to mask it with, like, I'm chasing my career and I'm doing what I want to do. But we know statistically, women find joy in family more than anything else. Women find purpose in family more than career, more than anything else. But society has programmed women to believe in the feminism lie of, like, no, you can do what a man does. You can just go and be this high-powered CEO and you'll find another high-powered CEO man. It doesn't work like that.
It does. I feel like that's so crazy.
I don't believe that women are, like, intentionally, like, not looking for men. I believe in, like, what we said before, in the fact that women probably think they have a lot of options, and so I feel like you can, and I feel like if social media is doing anything, it's like it's got rose-colored glasses on situations, because everyone thinks that their relationship needs to be perfect, or that men need to be doing X, Y, and Z, and men need to be giving the whole alphabet A through Z, and I don't think that's realistic. I think basically what social media has done is everybody puts their best foot forward. Everyone puts look at the Forever Roses I got. Look at this expensive date I went on. Look at this trip I went on, all this other stuff. And I think the problem is not so much that, I mean, I disagree with Sarah in terms of like the social media aspect. I think social media has just done this thing where everyone thinks that a relationship or the guy that they're trying to be with needs to be this thing, and no one is being realistic about what it needs to be anymore. Like nobody is being realistic about like, I mean, what was that list that came out a few months ago about like with the dates, like it was like the list
you can't go.
Yeah, the list of places that you can't go. Like people are not being realistic.
That
like
stuff is funny though. Like some of that stuff is just like
it's funny, but I mean, a lot of there be people in the comments that like it's like
I just be alone in my opinion because I just feel like people are not seriously like I mean like just.
Do you think a guy can take you to Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, I've been to Cheesecake Factory
on a first date.
See what I mean?
See?
I mean, we just didn't go. What are you saying?
No, I'm saying if a guy said that he was gonna take you to Cheesecake Factory on a first date.
I mean, it just depends on what we're doing else that day. Like, what are we doing that
So
day?
Cheesecake Factory can't be enough.
I don't know. It's not that. It could be okay. What if we went to go somewhere or the movies and there's a Cheesecake Factory in the mall at the movies? Yes, we like. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I don't want like okay for me. Cheesecake Factory is like a lunch type of vibe. You know. I don't think that's like a main event type of thing. It's more like a family restaurant to me, and it's loud in there too. So if we're trying to get to know each other, like I'd rather get to know you like in a different aspect or whatever.
Could Chris Brown take you to Cheesecake Factory?
Hell yeah. See, the thing is, I think
the guy.
Y'all cannot say stuff like that to me because you don't even know who's wrote me or who.
Well,
like,
okay, it might not even need to be Chris Brown. It could be insert celebrity that
Michael B. Jordan.
Insert celebrity.
I don't like cute men. Like, let's not like. I don't want nobody like looking. Oh, I'm so Mr. Pretty. No, I like the ones that are probably overlooked. That's cool. That got a good personality. That's the thing. You might see me and think, okay, this is what I don't even like type of dudes like that. Like, if you think you want to be the prettiest in the room, no, bye. Like, I like the person that's gonna want to cater to me and do different things just to like make my life easier, and I'll make your life easier in return. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I feel like just the little things with me. But I just don't like that you said that women are past their prime at 30, and you said that they're depressed and different things. Because me personally, my mom, she went and got her degree, she got her master's, she got married at 30, and she had me at 35. I don't think she was past her prime at all. So everybody's life is different, and everybody hits their milestones at different times. You could still find happiness, you could still be with somebody. I don't think there's a cap on that. There's people in other races, these celebrities be 50 years old, pregnant, having babies, 45. Like, so I don't think it's just always, I think it's really just with black women. Like, it's always like, oh, black women, like, you're old and you're bitter. You're gonna just be like an auntie, or, you don't have any kids, like, you're no good. But it's like, men be 65, 50 years old, still trying to be in the streets, still trying to talk to young girls, you know? So I just feel like, why do women have it so hard, but men could be 50 trying to talk to 25-year-olds?
Well, to be fair, we have a clock.
Yeah.
That's why the man can be 60 in the street.
We don't.
Girl, we have a biological clock.
We don't. As long as your body is working, I feel like at the end of the day, as long as if you go to your doctor and you're healthy and your body is still working. My mom had me at 35.
No, I'm not saying 35.
She's 60. You should see her right now. This lady can run miles, like run laps around these young people, literally. So it's just like, I just come from like people that did things in different ways. Like, for example, my grandma had 3 kids at 21. She did, the older days. What's that? The boomer generation.
Yeah.
They're different. So it's like, I don't think, oh, you're 30, it's over for you. You know?
The things that men value in women versus the things that the things that men value in women typically happen when women are younger. Typically when women are in their early 20s. Men value a woman that hasn't been through a lot of trauma, that hasn't lived a hard life, that has not been sexually active as much. That's as most fertile as they could be. They're more agreeable. They're more willing to listen. Men value things typically from women that are younger. The things that women value or men typically happen as men get older. You want a man with money, that takes time. He has to make himself into something. That comes with age. You want a man with some wisdom.
How are we supposed to get together if I'm supposed to be young and popping at 25? You don't got money at 30. So what are we supposed to do?
So
what are
age.
what are we supposed to do?
So back in the day, it was age gap dating. A lot of people's parents, there's an age gap of at least 8 to 10 years,
15
10 to 15
sometimes.
years. You'll see that a lot of the man is significantly older than the woman. That's not just by happenstance.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, if you want to date somebody your age, they're not realistically gonna be able to provide you a house. Like, that's the thing, or the family structure that they might not be ready for it. So it's just like, what am I supposed to do? If I want to get married, at like honestly, I've been thinking about it. Like, I've been thinking like, okay, I want to date like realistic people that I want to be with. I don't want to date just to have fun because I could go. I'm at the financial state where I can go pay for dinner. I can go like I don't need a man to get me dinner. Like, I want to really date you to really like be with you. I don't want to just. Oh, okay. I took post up like.
I mean, so the question is, would you be comfortable working or building with a dude? Because like, theoretically speaking, you're 25, meeting a dude 27, 25, he might not be making that kind of money at that age.
Yeah.
So it's like, would you work with him to get to that level? Would you be, like, or does he already have to be a finished project?
I mean, it just depends on like this, like your energy and just your drive. I feel like because some people. They just will talk about it and talk about it. I'm a very action-based person, so it's like, okay, if I'm giving you the tools, it goes back and forth because I don't want to have to give you game. Like, I kind of want you to be a little bit further ahead.
No, I mean,
that's my point.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right?
You don't need to be like a millionaire. I'm just saying.
But
like,
he could have the ambition.
I just like I don't want to be like I gotta motivate you every day. Okay, come on, you gotta go to work. You gotta like.
So
I don't wanna have
I'm not saying you gotta motivate. I'm just saying he might not be at his financial peak. But he's doing okay, right?
I mean,
and it's just like maybe 5-10 years from now, he's gonna hit that peak where he's making $500,000 or more. But in the current stage, at 27, he's not.
But she got
personally, I'm not waiting 5-10 years for anybody. I don't care how much money you have.
But I'm saying he got the characteristics, the ambition. He got the head on straight. He got the vision.
Like that's too long.
She got options. She got a dude that got it today. So
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
Not even that though. But 5-10 years is too much to give to somebody. You can get married. You don't have.
So that's why we're saying it was a big age gap because
be
most men ain't gonna get that.
Poor. A lot of people that are literally on all type of government assistance, all type of stuff, and they're married. So it's the commitment. People are scared of commitment. It has nothing to do with how much money you have. There's so many people, all cultures. They be working like literally other cultures, Spanish cultures, different cultures. The man is working. If he's working construction, his wife, I bet you she's at home. They're not even making.
That's a cultural
$100,000 a year.
Let me bring you into my world. Let's say me and you work at Chipotle. I'm dating girls who work at McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Five Guys. You are dating guys that are vice presidents.
Vice president?
You're getting offers from guys that are making $200,000 plus a year. You getting offers from guys that are willing to fly you out. I'm not getting offers from girls that are willing to fly me out. I'm trying to get the girl that works at McDonald's, and she's getting offers from guys that's willing to fly her out.
Well, I don't work at McDonald's, so we're gonna start there.
But I'm saying the way that the dating pool is like the average man is getting overlooked by the average woman because the guys up here are digging down.
Yeah.
And they're saying, "Oh, this is easy. I can just offer her."
Because a guy with money doesn't care how much money you have. He just is like, "Listen, I got it. Just come rock out with me."
But what happens to that? What happens to the Chipotle man? That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna have to find somebody that appreciates his qualities and that is more statute to what he has to offer. There's gonna be somebody for everybody. I'm just saying, me personally, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, I told you, like, I go on trips. I do these things for myself. So I feel like if somebody's coming to me with those things, I don't feel like that's asking out of my reach. I feel like that's within my reach and my grasp of what I know what I make every month. I know how much my rent is. My rent's $3,000 and I'm paying for it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like these are like unrealistic expectations. I feel like realistically, like, some girl that works at Chipotle, she's not getting flown out and doing all that's some different stuff.
So Shaq DM'd the girl that worked at Home Depot. It was a big story. There's plenty of
That's
stories
Shaq,
just like this.
He gonna do that. Like, he agreed.
But there's plenty of stories. Yeah. There's the stories about Drake talking to the average girls and smashing other man's woman
and
like,
they're because they've dealt with the, he's like Serena Williams. Like, she's a high-powered woman. That woman wins all type of stuff. She's got everything going for her. They didn't work out because it was too much for him. I think high-value men and high-powered men, they don't like a really super strong-willed woman with a lot of money, with a lot of intelligence sometimes too. Sometimes they just want you to sit there and be cute and just nod and smile. So that's why I feel like high value men or whatever, high income men, whatever you want to call it, they might go down because they're like, listen, I'm giving you something you never experienced. So you're going to be gracious to me and you're going to be loyal to me in return for that. That's what I think.
So what's the solution for the average man, right?
The
Because
average man,
what's
I don't know. You said the
I mean,
there is.
I mean, I would say, look, it's funny, just sitting here listening to it, I'm like, you know, it's funny because you think about it, like, this is just like pretty privilege at play, right? Like, we're both working at Chipotle. Because it's a funny story, I was talking to a girl, you know, when I was far removed from college, and she was kind of like, just graduated college, and I'm like, it was like a 5-7 year age gap between me and her. And she was telling me she never dated anybody in college, and I was like, why not? And she was like, because they ain't make no money. And I was like, well, you're in college, you're both broke, right? But I think because what happens is that the broke guy in college has to build a lot of character through hard life experiences, where she might not have to, just because it's pretty privileged. But long term, she might be exposed to the easy path, which doesn't allow her to build character, right? Or like she might be, I guess, overexposed to these kind of things and now expects it, which kind of changes her, I guess, dating trajectory. Because now she feels like she can only entertain a certain genre of guys because the other genre of guys just don't got the bread. So long term, that might hurt her and push her to be 35 because now she has so much preference or choice that she doesn't actually make a good choice, where the Chipotle dude actually has to make himself of something to obtain something of similar value that she obtained for.
Well, I think that's
for free
two
ease.
different. I think that's two different spectrums because we're saying Chipotle, but is he working Chipotle while he's in college to be like a tech guy?
I mean, I don't know what both. I don't know what both of the people are doing.
It's just, I feel like if you're in college, like there's a lot of people that are working in tech and different things. Like if you're in a field that's obviously gonna make money in the future, like I feel like you should look at like, hey, he's in a business school.
But just like you said, girls ain't gonna wait though.
They're not
they're not waiting.
5 to 10 years, but I mean, if you're in college.
But when I was in college, I was an engineering major. Girls wasn't giving me time just because they knew I was an engineer. They was talking to all the athletes. They was talking to the athletes in the fraternity dudes.
Like for me, it's crazy. Like I'm in my stage where like I don't really like the popular type of person. Like I like that person that's like nice to me.
Okay, so you're unique, and I'm cool with that.
But
I'm just saying, I don't think a lot of
the guy that's like a little nerdy and weird because he's nice. Like I've dated both. That's why I'm not gonna say, oh, I only like this type of person. That's why I feel like you can't prejudge somebody because you might look at me and think, oh, she's only talking to this, but that's not the case. Like,
but either I think what they're saying is either way, whether he's like the nerdy guy or the whatever, either way, the guy has to be able to provide for you.
He already has to be a finished product,
like
is what I'm saying. Because
no.
you were saying the dude 27 with ambition,
saying,
if you ain't gonna wait 5-10 years for him. So the engineering dude in college, you definitely not waiting for him.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, are we getting married and we're gonna work together for this 5 to 10 years and get this money? That's what I'm saying.
I'm assuming that's what,
she's not even looking at him.
I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to wait 5-10 years to get married.
No, I ain't saying. Okay, so okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I feel like we're a little bit lost with the.
Okay, so you're saying that. Because the money did say like the dude usually won't kind of take it to that level unless he's found himself already and is in a financially comfortable position.
So what she thought
at 27, but my whole point to the 27, I was like, he's already like kind of in his career.
I mean, but do you want to build with him? That's my thing.
That's what I said. I just out here said that. I said if I can commit to you and we can get married, even if it's at a young age, we might not have all our faculties organized. Everything might not be in order. But what I'm saying is, if you can make that commitment and get married, I can make the commitment that, okay, cool. If you can say I'm gonna marry you, you're saying that I will take care of you. It might not be tomorrow, but we're gonna work towards something. Like not everybody is like a finished product. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm not personally gonna date somebody for 5 to 10 years with no intentions of marriage, with no end in sight, because he could get up and leave, literally. So it's like, oh, as soon as you get rich, we're just together. Then it's like, all right, peace, bye. And I done stayed down with this dude 5-10 years, and he's peaced out. I feel like the whole stay down thing is like if you're married to somebody and they're committing themselves to you, I feel like you should stay down with them through financial stuff.
That's a sacrifice, though, to stay down with the man that's building as opposed to taking the trips and the excursions and the bags and the shoes from the other men that already have. That's a big sacrifice.
You already have to be a person that believes in delayed gratification, right? Just like I know we're not doing those extravagant things today, but in our near future, maybe we'll retire early. Maybe we would have that lavish life.
People got to get off social media.
They do.
It's just so like, it's like I said, I've seen seen all sides of the dating spectrum. I've dated, you know, people that didn't do a whole lot for me. I've dated people that did a lot for me. And the people that did a lot for me, like aside from the relationships I was in, they really didn't care. So I feel like they just did it like, okay, you know, whatever. It's whatever. Because somebody with money, it's not like they're doing it, you know, like, oh my gosh, like I'm really spending this money with value. Like if you have millions of dollars in your account, what's a $1,000 bag? It's not much. It's not really scratching the surface for you. However, somebody that's like really hard working, that's like, okay, I know she really wants these shoes. It's her birthday. I'm gonna spend my whole check, even though it might not make sense, but like I'm gonna work extra hours. Like the person that's doing that, that's so much more worthwhile than the person that's just like, oh, here, you know what I mean? The money, I had a conversation with my friend about this. Like, you know how, like, people, scammers, whatever, fast money, all that, like, it doesn't hit the same as somebody that really worked hard for it because they wanted to make you happy.
We left off in the last podcast and the last segment, but we didn't really give a solution to what the Chipotle boys should do.
Yeah, we got to find a solution. I forgot we are solution-based. We are not
Yeah,
complainers.
we're solution-based.
All right.
My solution is simple. Make yourself into the best version that you can be and choose from what you have available. So do the work as a man to just become the best that you can be, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It doesn't mean that you're going to get an amazing woman. It doesn't guarantee that, but it puts you in a position where you're doing all that you can do. I hear a lot of guys complain about, I'm going to just complain. It's just like, do you want to complain or do you want to do something about it? Because if you want to complain, there's a space for that. But if you want to actually self-improve and get what you really want down the line, put the work in. So
Yeah.
that's my thing.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I mean, I agree with Armani. I guess I'll give a little story. I guess earlier in my career, my dating career, you know, I wasn't like this guy, you know what I mean, as far as like uber romantic, but I was more concerned about the girl's interest and trying to figure out what you liked as far as restaurant and food and like take you out and spend money. Then I would be the guy complaining, not about like I had the money, but it was like I'm wasting money going on all these dates, spending all this money. And I was like, one, I'm not even enjoying my time. The girl might not even call me back. So you have these experiences. And for me, when I found that worked for me, although it was a journey, it was like, you know what? When I'm looking at dates for women, one of the things my brother was telling me was like, you know what? Don't try to find a date idea that you think she likes. Do something that you like, right? Yeah. And if the date don't work out, you had a fun time on the date itself, right? And so I started to change my perspective on looking at dates. So at first I might say, damn, I got to take her to Founding Farmers with Ruth Chris and spin a bag. And I got to set the tone and make an image and make her think that like, I'm this kind of guy, right? And then I was like, well, then I'm spending all this money and I'm not getting calls back. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the activities and dates that I like, regardless if you care. And if you say
what
no.
do those look like?
So for me, I would take girls out. I loved ice skating.
Okay.
Nice. So one of my winter little joints was take you ice skating. We'll do a little drink, you know what I mean? Go ice skate. You see what I'm saying? That's one of my joints.
That's one of my joints.
You see what I'm saying? Right. And it's not even expensive either.
There you go.
And the outdoor one at the wharf, I'm giving away a little.
It's free game, y'all. It's free game.
But it's just free game. But what I'm saying
It
is,
don't have to be expensive.
it doesn't. You just have to think a little bit about what you like. Also, like ice skating, like $20 for 2 people, and you still got a little left over for some drinks if you want to do a couple shots somewhere nice. And I would do stuff like paint nights and rollerblading, ice skating, bowling. These are like low-end dates where like one, you can get a little active, you can have a lot more conversation than just sitting down and eating food. It was on the lower end too, so I didn't feel like I'm spending a lot of money, and I was having fun. So whether she didn't have a good time or she didn't like bowling or whatever, I'm like, I'm having a good time. So when I went home more excited, although, you know, I didn't know what could transpire. Because I'm like, well, I had fun. Yeah. So then I started to have a more positive outlook on the dates itself. And on top of that, it turned off, it was weird. A lot of girls didn't like ice skating. Not a lot of girls, but I got some pushback with the ice skating thing, which is weird. But it turned away a lot of those money-hungry women that like were looking for dudes that were to just spend the bag or spend the money. And although the con is you might not be getting a lot of attention compared to the dudes leading with their wallet, but when you do meet the girl, you guys get to have more of a more intimate situation because she's there to be with you. So she's not caring about if we had, Cheesecake Factory because at that point she's interested in talking to me.
Because at least you're getting attention from the right people.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm getting it. So right. So the girl who's like, you know what? she knows ice skate might be a little intimate, but he's a cool dude. I'll take that date with him because that sounds like a fun thing.
But that's the thing, you discount the cool dude part. The more work that you do for yourself to make yourself into a great man and an attractive, like desirable man, the less you have to go and show and prove to her.
Right.
Like she just wants to come with you because she already likes you. You don't think
so? No, I was saying that on top of the improvement part, though, right? It's like, cool. I mean, you could be a lame, you could be a cool dude. But I'm just saying, like, the way you phrase how you want to pursue a woman, like, if you have your standing in principle, which mine was like, yo, you know what? I took my current girlfriend to the movies our first date. I'm like, that's just who I wanted to be. If she said no, we wouldn't be talking today.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, set your standing in principle. You don't want to spend a lot of money. You can still do a lot of cute, intimate things and get to know people. And if the girl doesn't think those ideas, coffee dates, the walk at the National Mall or something like that, if she doesn't agree to those kind of outings, maybe that's not for you. And I took that internally of like, okay, if she thinks that's a weird date, that's I dodged a bullet. And then like I just started to deal with girls who were cool with it. And then you ended up finding more people who were interested in who you were, getting to know who you as a person, and led to more success. But there's an initial phase of if you are a volume shooter and you were getting some success or anywhere close to that, it's going to diminish a little bit because some people in this generation might not be cool with those kind of things, which is okay. You kind of like filter out the unquality people, in my opinion. So,
Sierra, you disagree with what I said? You don't think that a man who's impressive can handle his own?
I just feel like at the end of the day, I have seen people dress down to the nines, whatever. Like, okay, they got the cool stuff. They got some
Sunday's best.
Rick Owens. You got some Amiri jeans, whatever. Like, you got a whole outfit and be homeless. Like, so
no,
now,
yeah, 100%.
I like the man that's just got on a nice shirt, like just a plain. It could be a plain white tee, just some nice flash, whatever. It don't have to be nothing crazy. And the less jewelry, sometimes that might, you know what I'm saying? That's actually the person that might really be in a better position. They're not flashy. They don't have to show a lot. That's just me. Like, I don't look at things because I've seen people that literally are just trying to look like money or trying to look like what they think money looks like. And just because the family I come from, like my family, they're in a good position. My dad, he works for American Express, so he's never like a flashy dude ever. Like that's just how they raised me. Like they don't raise me like, oh, labels are everything or how obviously present yourself well.
Right.
Do character development. I will say that. Like you should definitely go through some character development and with your personality. But I just feel like how you look on the outside isn't always the most important thing. But to some women it is. But me, it's really not. Because like at the end of the day, you can be good looking as you want to be, but do you really like me like that? Like are you more caught up in you? That's the thing.
I wasn't talking about looks. I was talking about just being well-rounded.
Oh, you're saying, oh no, that's fine.
Yeah, just be like a man
I
that's
thought
just.
you meant like, go
not like a swat looking.
go get your clothes up. Go, whatever.
Nah, that's.
Oh, okay.
No. We always talk about character development,
But back
character
to
building.
But what you said, I really like what you said because I'm not gonna lie, like cute, thoughtful things really go a long way. Like it's just so many things you could do with somebody that are like, it's not like a crazy expense. So that's a good solution. I agree with that. The solution for the average person that's making a minimum wage salary, they might not make as much money. Look in your city, find how many free events. Like I'll look at like, oh, what's going on? They have like, sometimes the museum will have like a wine hour or something.
Yeah.
Like that's some classy fly shit. Like, okay, we're going to a museum, we're gonna get some wine. Like that's a vibe.
So so not to cut you off, on top of the part of character building, you got to be interesting, right?
Yeah.
In that sense of like having hobbies, like
hobby. Like even me, I wanted to go have some hobbies. Like I'm into cooking. That's my big thing. So like that's really like my hobby mainly.
Yeah.
And working out too. But like I feel like we all just need to work on having our own, individual traits in order to be better for somebody. But that's why people should really be single and then start dating. Like,
that's what we shouldn't be doing on casual. That casual dating is what's fucking us all up.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, go work on yourself.
Yeah.
Get into some activities and hobbies because that's what makes you interesting. It gives you a lot more talking points. And that too, join a run club. That's a new dating app. You know what I mean? Like I think personally, like I tell my friends, like get into more things. That's the easiest way to meet people, right? Get into more activities and hobbies, whether it be hiking, biking, whatever it may be. And you will learn more, meet new people, become more interesting, have more cool things to talk about.
Yes.
So when you do approach people, you have a whole, melting pot of things to use in your arsenal to make your advances in that way. So,
I do want to push back a little bit.
Here we go.
Kevin Samuels used to say.
Rest
Oh,
his
no.
soul. Hey, you know what I mean?
Kev Sams used to say a woman should only go on a first date with a man that she's sexually attracted to, and she should only go on a second date with a man that if everything goes right, she would have sex
On the
with him.
cheeks.
Well, how do you know after the first date you're sexually attracted?
So here's the thing, right?
Or even before, like
Here's the thing.
I gotta like feel your energy. I have to smell you. Like it's all of that.
I don't wait. I'm not.
How do
Okay,
you
so
know
wait,
you're
so wait.
sexually
All right, well,
Oh, no,
is
first
sexually
date?
attracted the thing? I'm taking it. I'm interpreting it as like someone that you're really interested in, right? Like, is that kind of like similar?
So 1 in 3 women right now go on. They call them foodie calls. Basically, they're dates
Oh my God.
that when
Hey,
a woman
this
will
is-
go on a date with a man she has no real interest in just to get free food. 1 in 3 women. So if you a man, that's a scary statistic. So my thing is, if we're talking about what the men should do, I do want to come back to the women. What the women should do. Should you be stringing along men that you know you have no real interest in to get free food?
I mean, it's on both y'all
already
fault. It's
said
both y'all
No,
faults.
okay.
It's like you shouldn't be stringing him around.
And why is he so desperate to want to be around people that
That's
don't
what
like
I'm
him?
saying. Like again, like she said, listen,
Like-
as a dude, play in your lane, right? Like if I know I have the money, I'm not going in debt for no girl, right? I'm not blowing my whole bank account. So you should have some discernment on your end as a man to not go above your baseline. But as a woman also, you shouldn't be accepting dates or money from a dude that you have no interest in. So I mean, I feel like if both people take accountability, we can clean it up a little bit.
yeah, men
You know
need
what
to
I mean?
do low
Like-
investment
we
dates.
already said that though. I told
Well, not
her, I
low
said-
investment. It's just like, no, if you know you ain't got the bread, don't spend the bread. That's the
Yeah.
thing. And it's like some dudes, well, I want it, and you that means you kind of act out of desperation because it's like, what, I'm
Yeah.
willing to sell my soul, go in debt, just for the opportunity, and then be mad that it don't benefit. It's like you
Yeah.
pretty much gambling, and at that point, it's like that's just what it is. It comes with the risk.
It is a gamble. I
No
mean,
woman
it comes with
is
the risk.
holding you down at gunpoint, like take me on this date. You did it, you booked it, and you paid for it. So it's like I'm tired of this. Oh, women this, like. Y'all, like, it's just like y'all still wanted to go on a date though. And y'all, even though you know she don't like you, you'll probably still call her because you think that one chance she might just one time let me get it, just one time.
Yeah, that's the life call. That's the
Vagina
gamble. You're rolling the
was-
dice with that.
At the end of the day, like, men love women. So at the end of the day, that's gonna be the prize. At
I
the
mean,
end of the
you
day,
so
I
you
don't
have dudes
care.
taking gambles like that.
Unless you're a dude that's like super rich and they have women throwing them at themselves. The average, to upper middle, like I'll say like middle class, not even really average. I'm saying like middle class, like you might like make like 100,000 a year or whatever. You might want that like one girl. She's just so fine. She's just everything, right? So you gonna do whatever it is to like try to get her. But I just feel like if you're not making at least 100,000 a year, you shouldn't be throwing out no $500 on no dates. That's just out of your price range. Like if you're not making a whole lot of money, why are you spending $1,000? Like that's that could go to you and doing something for you. That's how I feel.
what you think, Diamond?
I think the Kevin Samuels quote is stupid. I think
That was
I don't.
Wait.
I don't,
Hey, what part of it was
Why,
stupid
though?
in your opinion?
Not
Because I mean,
He said foodie calls. I ain't never heard
No,
that in
he-
my
no,
life.
he talking about-
okay,
wait, can you
okay.
re-
So I have. See, he said two different things, and
So,
they were
okay,
different.
so can you-
So the
yeah.
foodie calls, I don't agree for foodie calls. I don't agree on calling on. I don't agree about calling upon men because you're hungry. I don't agree with that. But I don't agree with. You should only go on a first date if you're sexually attracted to somebody. I do believe sexual attraction is like very. I don't know if the right word is fluid, but I don't believe like a lot of women, their attraction to men does come from their personality. A lot of women do get turned on by men because
That's what I'm
of like because they're funny and like because of like other stuff. I do believe that.
So, I mean-
y'all have not been women. I have been women my whole
I know.
life.
Okay, so real quick
I have been
question.
a woman my whole life,
Real
and I do
quick
believe that.
question. Do you need to have a lot of in-person interactions to see that,
So
or
that's
like?
what I was
was
so
saying,
I was
because in
I
today's
was
day and age, we can FaceTime, we can text,
No,
call.
that's
You-
not
you-
enough.
I know it's not enough. I'm just saying, like,
You
me and you
can.
went on 2 dates and then we FaceTime for 3 weeks straight. You know what I mean? Like, you probably
Not
got a good
enough.
gist of who I am.
But listen, so because there's like so much that goes into it. Because for me personally, like, and I'm gonna let you know that I'm probably on the spectrum that almost thinks that way, and I don't agree with it because in college I was notorious for going on one date and you never hearing from me again. Because we would literally go on one date and I would decide that I did not like you. And you would ask me on a second date and I'd be like, no, I'm good.
No, which is fair.
I did that to not a lot. But off the top of my head, I did that to at least 5 guys.
It's better than ghosting them.
Right.
Yeah.
And literally you would ask me to go on a second date and I would kind of like gently just curve you. And I'd be like, no, I'm like, I'm good. And I would be fine. And it would be because off the first date, I did really know. I was always like one step ahead of myself. Like even in college, I was like, not my husband, don't need to go on another date. Not my husband, don't need to go on another date.
But when you did go on that first date, especially with a dude that you were attracted, like you kind of knew, like, all right, you were hoping in a sense,
my whole thing was like they were my husband.
It works out.
I would go on a date and I would find them attractive. There would be nothing wrong. They just weren't my husband. And I would literally scrap it.
You have the luxury of doing that. I got the luxury of paying. Every time I take a girl out on a date, I gotta pay.
You talking about father?
Hard.
Money.
But
it's money.
It's hard work.
But I'm saying, even though I was one of those people where off the first date, if I felt like it wasn't going where in my head where I wanted it to, I would just clip it. So I'm saying I almost operate kind of like how the quote states, but I think I was abnormal for the regular woman. And I'm not saying that they need to spend money or whatever. I just don't think the regular woman is gonna go on 2 dates and then sleep with someone. That sounds crazy
no, she's
to
not.
me.
She's going for the experience. She's going for the Instagram story.
No, but
for the
you
picture
said
outside.
don't only go on the first date if they're sexually attractive, and you said only go on the second date if the second date goes well, sleep with them. That's what you said. That's what the quote said. I'm saying that's crazy.
The reason that Kevin said that is because men are investing. Because this thing you don't understand.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
then
like
y'all
hold on. Then you understand. As a man, when you're not just dating one woman. It's not like, oh, I seen this girl walking down the street. I just want her. You're probably dating 2 to 3 or 4 girls. You're trying to figure out like which one you want to really stay with.
Okay.
So if I'm taking,
but that's also not all niggas, because I don't think all niggas is got a roster.
Spending money to just do all that.
Because to maintain a roster takes not only skill but some money too.
not a roster, but he's trying to shoot. He's trying to get what he can get. So he
Right.
may just be
go
offering
4
dates.
dates a week.
No, sometimes they just text a bunch of girls and just see what pans out.
Pretty
As a
much.
man, you have to
You
get it.
just.
Right.
Let me tell you something. We be on the dating app. You throw out 5 BPs like, what y'all doing tonight?
That's
Whoever.
it.
I've never been on a
I'm
date
talking
with
about.
that.
Look, bless your soul. You know
As
what I
a
mean?
man-
But
As a man, you kill what you eat. That's it.
I'm scared of dating apps, to be honest. But you know what's crazy?
It's
I
treacherous.
never got on it. Like, I made one just to, like, I wanted to see, but they was trying to make me pay for stuff. I was like, oh, hell no.
Girl,
On a
what
date
dating app
app?
were you on?
I was trying to, like, I just wanted to see. Like, I never, like, said anything.
I just wanted to see.
I made it, and, like, I just wanted to see what would come out. I never responded to nothing. I just wanted to see. It was like, oh, white man. I was like, oh, that's
What
Did you
was
pay
on?
for like the premium
No.
feature or something?
No.
They don't really make you pay.
No,
I know. I
Wait,
wish I had been on an app
I
in
got
years.
on it and it was trying to make you pay for stuff, but I never entered. I deleted it. I was like, I deleted the whole profile. I just wanted to see what would come. It was really wild. That it was like all white men. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
it's probably your
That's
first
not
weekend.
even-
You know what I mean? You
Really? That
gotta let
wasn't
the
even
algorithm
really-
get you cooked
That
up a
wasn't
little
even
bit.
really my,
Your
that wasn't
flavor.
really my algorithm. That's
Right.
not really my flavor. But you know what's crazy? It's like everybody in my family, like I have a biracial, multiracial family. We all have like the same, like all my first cousins were all 1/4 white, 3/4 black. They all have white spouses. It's crazy. I'm the only one with a black grandchild. Like they all, like for my grandma. So it's crazy. My grandma's white. So it's like, it's crazy. Like they all, male, female, they all have white spouses. So that's a whole other aspect, interracial dating and everything.
We did talk about
It's just
that.
so crazy.
But I do want to bring you to the life of a man. So as a man, you're shooting at a
Why
bunch
do you
of
make
women.
that face? She's like, I want to bring
What's
it
the
to.
life of the
She's
man?
like,
I was trying to know where
she's
we
like,
was
nigga, what
going
you
with
saying?
So all right, I want to play a game.
What's the game?
There you
Okay,
go.
Jigsaw.
There we go.
Play a game.
What's the game? What we talk about?
We'll do it. We'll do it in 2 ways. Sierra, we'll start with you.
Okay.
You're a man for a week. Diamond is the girl that you want. Give the step-by-step of how you will be able to sleep with Diamond by the end of the week.
Damn, that's.
Well,
Damn.
I didn't know we was going this direction.
Sheesh.
That
So wait.
I don't like this because that feels like manipulation.
Is it manipulation?
And if y'all are really manipulating women to sleep with you, that's fucked
I
up.
don't think that's what we're trying to say. It's just
You know what it is? You know what I would do? I would not try to sleep with her. and she's gonna want to sleep with me by the end of the week. I'm gonna see her plenty times.
Yeah, where are you gonna take her?
Chill
What
with
you
her.
gonna do?
We
You
can
gonna
go out to eat. We can go on a date. We can chill. We can do like it's gonna go back and forth. Like we're gonna go out to eat.
where you going?
We'll have a nice day. I don't know. Let's do like sushi. Like it's a lot of chill.
I like
little
sushi.
You
vibes.
going Nobu?
Them no,
Jeez.
it doesn't have to. See, that's your problem.
I just want the details.
Like that's
I'm
your
just trying.
problem. We can go to I like this one place. It's
I can tell you.
It's called Kushi. It's in Bethesda. It's cute.
It's called what?
It's called Kushi. I know. Not to be confused with anything else. We can go there. I have my happy hour spot. My favorite is King Street Oyster in Potomac.
I love
going
me a
there.
King Street
Literally
moment.
$7, $9 food.
I'll beat her.
You'll have a great. It is scenic too. It's like indoor, outdoor, so it's cute. Like it's waterfall out there. It's nice. We can go to iPick. We can do all of that. And I'm not gonna try to sleep with her. I guarantee you.
But you gonna be spending that bread though. That's what you gonna be spending.
Nah,
You
spend a
not
lot of
really.
money.
You spending.
I said dinner and these are like 40.
King Street Oyster. Y'all gonna go
The
get
King
a
Street
couple
Oyster Bar got
dozen.
dollar oysters, all right? And tell me I'm in there like swimwear.
By the time you get 4 or 5 drinks in, because you're gonna go harder on the drinks because the
And
food
you
is
only gonna see her
cheaper.
one time?
It's not, no, I'm saying these are multiple
That's just first date.
dates.
That's just the first date.
I
Okay.
think the first date. Let's say we do happy hour and a movie. Happy hour.
I'm 100 in a hole.
Could be max like $50,
$150.
$60. $150 on happy hour. What are y'all eating?
So you talking about,
Movie.
wait, both of y'all food and then the
And then the
movie
movie.
theater,
I don't
whatever.
eat that much, so I don't know what y'all.
But your
like,
date gonna crush.
I don't do that. Like
I also don't do that.
But I'm not saying you, but
I don't
Well,
do
you
that.
said she was courting me, so I'm
but I'm
like,
saying, but if she taking you out, she probably like, yo, eat what you want to eat.
I'm telling y'all, realistically, she
Nobody
probably
eats
spending
that
me
much
like
happy
$50.
hour. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I went on a date to King Street Oyster, and we both had drinks. We both had food. I had a dozen oysters, like 2 appetizers, all that shit. Like three. That shit was like $65.
Okay,
Two of us.
okay,
So that's
let's-
the first date.
so
So,
let's-
you're gonna know on multiple
I've
dates.
been on a date there, so that's what I'm saying. I know that spot is not too expensive, not too crazy. I think the first date you shouldn't do more than like $100. Like I think like that's safe for everybody's pockets. Like I could spend $100 and be like, all right, cool.
Okay, so let's
But
say
I
she
think-
spent $100
I
at
think
King
$100
Street and the
is safe.
movies.
Those- then
Can
what?
we agree on $100 is safe
That's
for the
fine,
first
that's fine.
date?
All right, so day
That's
2.
safe.
I'm
And
cool
you're
with that.
not breaking
Date
the
two.
bank.
So you're doing 2 dates in the same week.
Date
Well, I mean,
two.
it breaks the bank for somebody, but
Yeah.
But I'm just saying for the collective.
yeah.
I feel like date 2 should be an activity. We could go do like a walk or like go to the pool. Like, okay, I'm like all with the vibes. Like we're gonna slowly get her to the crib. Like, okay, let's go to the pool. Let's put the hookah outside. Date number 2. I'm gonna set the
So
hookah
straight to the
up.
crib, man.
I'm gonna have it all
Back to the
because I got a fly ass pool like at my spot. It's
All right,
like,
so the
we
pool
have
is at your
pool parties
apartment.
So now the third date is like, hey, I got hookah in a pool.
No, she's
Yeah.
on
That's
day
that
2.
second date.
Day 2.
Oh, day
Day
two.
is hookah.
Okay.
It's hookah at the pool.
Back in my crib.
Are you going straight to the
Yeah.
crib?
That's
on
a
the second date?
question.
So, okay, so
That's a good question. That's
now,
what I'm saying.
now
You
I
can bring a
have to.
friend though.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Alright.
Is that how you? Is that
Hold
wait? Is
on,
that how you
one bite,
picture?
one bite at a time. One bite at a
Sorry.
time.
I got my homeboys. You got your girls. Come to the pool. You make it.
All right,
No
she-
pressure.
she-
So
no
you're making a
pressure.
second date a
She-
group date.
No
She
pressure.
did. All right, so the group
Cause
date.
I'm gonna
and she-
confuse you. I'm gonna throw you off right quick.
I'm gonna throw
You
you
gonna
off.
think you
Bring
gonna
your
think.
bad bitches.
Wait, is he trying to talk to my friend? Do he want me? And that's when
That's how you lose cheeks.
That's how you lose it.
That's how you
You don't
lose.
know.
That's how you lose it.
If I felt like I had a good time with her on day 1, like her person or him person, whatever. If I felt like I had a good time with Dave on the first day, and then the second day she says like, oh, I have a rooftop pool, good vibes, whatever. You
Yeah.
can bring your friends, and I think I could do that. Usually I don't do someone's house until
That's why I
day
said
4,
the friends. That's
but
why
she
I
said
said
I
the
could bring friends,
friends.
and it's a pool day.
So you
So
go
And
straight
it's
to the
no
crib in the
pressure.
same week.
I'm going to the pool.
You
with
know,
my
but
friends.
no, but
Nobody
if,
said
I
anything
mean,
about
again,
upstairs.
you might not do 4 dates in 1 week with the same person,
But
but
I said this. See, this is the mindset of a man. This is the.
You
difference.
said that she's trying to sleep with me. I'm saying typically, I would not go to somebody's house on the 4th date. But if I really had a good time with her the first day, and then on the 3rd day or whatever, she was like, "Hey, I'm having like a little pool party at my crib. You know, I'm gonna have some of my friends over. You can
Right.
come and bring your girls." I'm gonna be like, I had a good time, y'all. I have a move for today. Y'all want to go to this pool party that this guy invited me to? That would be cool with me. It's not his apartment. It's the pool.
Okay, let's
and
keep
I can
going.
bring the friends.
Let's keep
So
going.
She
Alright.
already,
she's doing
yeah.
good. She's
I
doing good.
mean, I
If she hadn't
guess.
said bring your friends, I'd have been like, she getting a no. I'm not coming to. I'm not
I
coming to
mean,
this
I
pool.
feel like
Because I feel like you should, like, as like a man, I feel like you should always make sure the woman is comfortable. So I feel like me personally, if it's the first time at your crib, like you should always just be like, hey, like, you know, would you like to, like, just throw it out there? Like, if she's like, oh, no, like, I want it to just be us, that's how you know she likes you. Or if she's like, oh, let's bring a friend, maybe she's just not comfortable. She might still like you. She just, you know, different people's comfort zones. I don't know. I'm like I'm so in love, first date, woody woo, like, child.
But let's say her friends can't come, and she's like, I don't want to come without my friends, because their friends might be busy. It's short notice. Now she don't want to come without her friends.
I don't know. I'm out of options.
You know what I mean? And
Call the next girl.
And that's my point. And that is my point. Thank you, we got there. Because girls are flaky.
Sarah is ready. Diamond is not.
That's what I'm saying.
I already hit 3 girls about a pool party. I just need 1 response.
That's it, yeah.
The other 2 won't get an excuse.
To be honest,
Okay.
if I get 2 responses, I'm going to say, yo, I caught
If I
COVID or
was a
something.
dude,
Don't
I'd be
come.
a
That's
dog.
it.
I would be such a dog. If I was a dude, I'd be such a dog. Because even now, I'd be running game.
I'm
But it's
telling
like,
you.
oh, I would run game.
So that's what I'm
so
saying.
bad.
This is the life of a man that y'all don't
I
get.
feel you, though.
But I
She
feel
got
like-
it. What you talking about? She got it.
No, well, she gets it now.
But I mean, like,
No, I
every
have
dude.
male friends. I have platonic friends. Like, I feel like in brothers, you know, if you have platonic friends and brothers, you know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the game a
Like,
little
I be
bit.
telling my homeboy, like, you be doing these whole little girlfriend experiences, and then the girl had the nerve to be like, oh, I feel like you don't show me enough energy. Like, he flew you out here, he got a hotel, he took you out
Enough
to eat.
energy.
He
God.
did all that. I was like,
That's not enough energy.
I was literally like, yo, like, what more energy do you need?
That's what I'm saying, like,
how
damn.
much energy do you need?
He
like,
paying
I was
money. That's what I'm
That's what I'm saying, but
and me as a woman that has been on the receiving end, I'm still like, yo, that's crazy. You need to really evaluate if she really likes you, because why are you doing all this?
She's
But again, he ain't got no
And
gun
she's
to his
still-
head to do this. He's doing it by
You're
choice,
right.
or maybe
Because
he feels
just
as
that type
though.
of dude. But I told him he has a complex. Like, I think you like women's approval, so that's why you like the girls that don't like you. Because you want to, like, I don't know. It's something
I
about
don't
that.
know. I think you
It's a
think
complex.
culture pushes men to spend money like this? Is that, do you think that
Yeah.
like
Well,
current American
yeah.
culture is
Culture
like,
pushes men to be
so it's like
sex.
you feel like,
Also ego.
or also it's like I feel like as a man I'm supposed to do this.
You're not supposed to fly a girl out.
Because no,
You don't
some
have to fly
guys
a girl
don't know
out.
what it is to be a man, to be honest. So they don't know that like you're not supposed
But
to
that's
do
another
that.
reason why you
What
need
you mean
real
you're not
female
supposed
friends.
to fly a
No,
girl
I'm not
out?
saying it's
You're
wrong.
not supposed to fly a
No,
girl
I'm saying it's not a.
You're
It's
not
not
supposed
a.
to.
You're not supposed
You
to
don't
fly
have
a
to.
girl.
Don't fly no girls
So
out.
I'm saying if you fly a girl out, cool.
Yeah,
good
if
for
you got
you,
money
but
to
I'm
burn
saying
on a
it's not
tree.
requirement to fly a bitch out. Like you don't
It's
need to
but
do
if you
that to be
asking
like.
somebody to
Over
come on a trip with you and
requirement.
come out there, you know,
Requirement.
cut off work. If you asking me to stop work and stop my life, get a babysitter, all this X, Y, Z, and what? Don't even ask me to come. Because I'm not going to sit in a man's face. I'd rather pay for my own trip and be with my friends.
That's what I'm saying. He
I'm
must not be
gonna
a
spend
special
money to
man.
sit
You
in
know
a
what I mean?
man's face. Now, if I was in a relationship, do I feel comfortable like helping pay for a vacation? Yeah, because we're in a relationship.
But
Like,
to your point, I do want to get on this. We about to run out of time. You
Damn,
had a
that's
comment
second
about
last week,
50-50.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
ask that?
yeah, I was like, we can get in a tussle over that one. Me personally, I feel like
What's the question? Like
My-
whether or not we should go 50-50?
my household was two high earning people, and the way they did bills was like my dad was kind of like taking care of like the majority of the mortgage, but they both put their joint account money into the house, so it wasn't like yours and mine. It was like, okay, we're both making like $250,000 a year. If our money is together, it's worth more. So when they went to buy the house, it was from their joint account. It was the like every check they would get, both of them had money going into it. So that's how I think that makes sense. But my dad did take the lead with most of expenses, but my mom paid for like vacation, sometimes my tuition. Like it, it just alternated. So I feel like it just depends on the income situation, because that's not everybody's situation. Like if there's two high earning people, it makes kind of more sense for y'all to both like, do that together, because you're gonna be worth more together. But if there's a man that's like, oh, I just want my wife to be stay at home, I don't want her to really do too much, that's fine for them. I feel like you just got to figure out what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like for two people starting out, like college, let's say they're college graduates, they both just got their first jobs in their field, it kind of makes sense for you to both, like, contribute. However, if you already have your own apartment, you already have your own finances and stuff, and a man is asking me to go 50-50, I'm just going to decline. I'd rather just pay my own expenses. Because I don't feel like I should be helping you to pay rent. You can pay rent in your house. I can pay rent in my house. We could still get together, but I'm not helping you pay your rent. No.
Okay, so
That's crazy.
maybe I'm misunderstanding the 50-50 idea, because I'm thinking like, based on what you said about your parents, like
But that was the marriage, though. That's different.
Right, okay, in the sense,
That's
okay,
the
so
only
let's.
way I feel like we can combine forces is in a marriage. I feel like.
I mean, nobody should be going 50-50 if they like in a
But people
like
do
not
know
committed
people
relationship.
are shacking up. People
I'm
are
like,
shacking up. They have kids. They're not married.
Well, let's just talk marriage for the sake of
Right,
this.
that's what I'm saying,
we're
like,
just
just for a
talking
second time marriage.
If we're just talking marriage, I feel like, I mean, realistic, me personally, I want the man to like take care of the bills, and I'll contribute where I want to contribute.
So when you say take care of bills, you mean for all financial
Like
responsibility?
I'll put money up for the house. Like if we're getting a house, like, and if the down payment is like what 50,000, 40,000, 20,000, whatever it is, like we should both have like our combined like whatever it is. Like
okay, so let me ask you a question real quick.
Payment is for the house.
So you're more so concerned about your man. You want your man to have the financial worry. You're still contributing, right?
Worry?
So okay, in the sense of you have your own. Let's say, for instance, we're married. You have a checking. We have a checking, but we have a joint account.
Yeah.
So me and you put a percentage of agreed upon money into
Yeah.
that joint to handle all our bills.
Yeah.
But I'm the one that's kind of managing all the bills. I'm the one keeping up, paying
like,
with
do
it.
we have kids? Do we have like my son, for example? His stuff is already gonna be paid for. Like so that's X'd out. Like my,
But I mean, we get married, and that's gonna be like my step kid, and then
like,
I'm gonna be
there's
responsible.
funds allocated for him anyway. So
But what I'm saying is that like the
different.
joint account is gonna take care of all our bills, right?
Yeah.
So we're both paying for the bills,
I don't know.
right? I mean, whatever
She didn't
percentage.
say what she's contributing to the joint account.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm saying whatever you agreed
whatever
upon.
we agree upon. I don't agree with not contributing, but I feel like whatever that looks like. I don't think it's like a 50 and a 50. It's never gonna be 50-50 for anybody because somebody's gonna put more weight in one area or one aspect. Like if I'm cooking 5 nights a week and I'm still working, that's not 50-50 because you ain't cooking. But if
with this whole.
But if you're living by yourself, you would be cooking and paying the bills. What's the difference?
I'm not about to sit in a man's face that's not making my life easier.
So is
That's
a
just what I
man?
believe.
So
I
man,
believe as
No,
a
no,
woman,
get into it. Get
a
into it.
man should make a woman's life easier. Period.
We both
point blank.
we both should make each other's lives a little easier, don't you think?
No, but the first thing is like a man should make your life easier.
Yo,
I'm not gonna want to be with you.
why?
I don't care. I don't want to be with nobody that's not like I'm putting Sierra first. Like
I mean, but it's okay. So
period.
wait.
And then
So,
I will naturally come to find what you need.
so what is the hierarchy you believe in, like in a marriage? Like, do you see that it's like your husband, you, the children, or you think it's the wife,
first
the
thing,
husband?
we
What's
gotta be good to take care of the kids. Like,
Right.
I always believe in you gotta put yourself first. You take care of your mental health, take care of everything, so that you take care of your partner, etc. Like I think the husband should lead. I feel like I want to see that. Like I want to see like okay, this is what we doing. Like cool. I should just be like okay, this is what we doing. This the plan. This okay, and I should be like yup, I got that. Cool. Or maybe I have a question about this. Like can we just talk about this? Okay, cool. Then we come to an agreement. That's how I feel like it should be. I feel like if you're paying for everything, you definitely get a different say so though. I will.
But
say
I'm just saying, like, but if your man, with that same respect, comes to you with a different life strategy, like, all right, babe, I think we need to do X, Y, Z. That means you might need to contribute, 75% of your income. I'm contributing my income as well, even though I might be a higher earner than you are, but like, it still might be a lot more than you're comfortable with, right? But that goes into the plan that we have set for our family.
It just depends on like what it looks like. Like, am I still able to do what I need to do? Like, honestly, that's really what it is. Like, there's cars involved. There's like my own personal expenses. Like, if you have debt, some people have debt. I don't, but like some people do. So it's just a lot that goes into like what that would look like. So
How would you feel if the men said like he got the mortgage, he got the bills, and like you handle like the groceries?
That's nothing. That's literally nothing.
it's
Like,
deeper than that.
Here's the
issue.
kids, like even my sister. So I'll bring up my sister too. Like my sister's, he's in IT, like, but she just recently went back to work, and she's in HR. He's obviously a very high earner, but like her money, like she paid for like her son's braces. So that's something. Like, you know what I'm saying? She paid for. What are y'all talking about?
I was like,
$2,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Can I-
That's a couple of bands. She's paid tuitions for the school. She's paid for after school programs. She's paid for camps, food. Like when they're out, like she normally has the kids when they're out, so she's paying for the food when they're out. It's not like it's her car that she's paying. Like whatever the little food is that they're getting, like. She always has the kids more often, so it's like you're gonna be paying for things. Like I always have my sons, so it's like I'm paying for whatever little outings we're doing. If they want to go to the movies, they want to go do this. Like So I feel like I said, if I don't have to worry about bills, I don't mind taking care of like, you know, the little life. So I might pay the Netflix and the Wi-Fi and like the little odd ends and things. But I just feel like me personally, like a mortgage is kind of a lot, but not everybody can afford to pay a whole mortgage on their own. So I feel like you gotta have that talk with your partner before you know.
So you feel like if a man has the means to pay for all the bills, they should.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the issue. Statistically, we know that less than 10% of black men make over 100K in this country. That's less than 2.5 million black
You're in
men.
the wrong race.
Jeez.
Once you adjust for age, sexual orientation, marital status, obesity status, are they charming? Are they funny? How tall are they?
Like 1%.
Less than 1%.
Yeah.
You're looking at a unicorn. Then you're saying, I want this man to pay the majority of the bills. And then, well, what do you get? When you become a unicorn, it's like, okay, I am
When you become a unicorn.
a one of one. What do I get? And what women are saying is like, oh, you just get me.
You get a loyal
But
wife.
it's like,
what else do you
A
want?
loyal wife, he got 4 wives. He's
Not in America, he can't.
What else do you
Polygamy
want? What do you
already.
even want? What do you want? Like everybody always say, oh, what do you bring to the table? What do y'all want at the table?
We
Like,
live
what do y'all want?
we live in diet polygamy. We live in I'm gonna go and be Nick Cannon. I'm gonna go be NBA YoungBoy. I'm gonna be Chief Keef. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of baby mothers, and I can have women in different spaces that I deal with, and that's what the men are doing that are making a certain type of money. The futures, all these guys, that's what they're doing. So it's like you make yourself into this less than 1% of a man, and then the woman's like, oh, be faithful on top of that. Now you need a man that's
now
faithful.
That's a whole nother bar.
Now you need him to be faithful and to just want you and only you.
I mean,
I don't know where you were going with that, but now you want me to be faithful.
No, but
I mean,
saying,
crazy.
what I'm saying is,
So-
what are women willing to offer to that
What
man?
do y'all
Well,
want?
yeah, her question was,
All right,
what
so
do
wait.
you want?
What do you
So wait,
want?
wait,
'Cause I can tell you what I want.
the
from
original
a man, but
question
what do
was-
you want? You keep saying, what do you offer? What
the
do you
original
want?
question was 50-50. That was the
Yeah.
original question, right?
Okay.
Because I don't know how we got.
I don't know.
we got so far away from it, but I mean, I feel
Well,
like
no, I know how we got there because the question was, like, do you do
Y'all
50-50?
want all
And then
this,
she
you
was
want the man
saying
paying the
she was
bills.
saying that she wanted, like, if the man has the means, then she wants them to take care of it. And the way we pivoted is because he basically said, all right, well, if I have the means and then I'm all this extra like stuff, because he started with this over 6 figures. He said, if I have all the means, you want me to have all the means, and then basically he then painted the picture of how unique it is for a black man to have all the things. And then he was like, well, now you want me to have all the things and you want me to take care of you and you only want me to focus on you and be faithful. That's where he kind of lost everybody. Because like, oh, God forbid that we ask you to be faithful.
What does that woman offer to that man?
Right, and she asked you, what do you want us to offer?
I said, what would a...
She just
what
turned
would
around and
you
said,
want?
what's the right way to
Submission.
answer the question?
Submission.
That's not hard. That's what I just said. A
Damn,
loyal wife. I
that's
literally
tough.
just said a loyal wife.
but
said
you, but
submission.
that's also unique in itself, though. Like,
So
I
whenever
said
he
a
wants
loyal
sex,
wife.
you're willing to do that?
That's not a problem. I don't
Whenever-
get
but
that's
see,
the weirdest thing.
maybe she's unique too.
That's the weirdest
That's
thing to
you a
me.
unicorn.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, if you're not on your cycle, that's the weirdest thing to me. Like,
I mean, you
that's
can have
the
sex
So I mean,
on
she's a
your
unicorn. That's what I'm saying.
weirdest
Is
thing.
it?
I ain't like, if you're not on your cycle and you're not sick and there's nothing stopping you, like, I really don't get it. Like, unless you're dog tired, like, you know. But then it's like, it would be rude for you.
But also,
to
that
ask.
energy
But
don't
if you
last
know-
a long time though. Some dudes
What?
get married
Oh.
and after 5-10
Yeah,
years of marriage, that
I've
don't slow down.
experienced more men like being like lazy with me than me being lazy with them. I've experienced more of that.
That's what you want.
I feel like no, it's not though, because
I want to be like, I'm tired.
it keeps
That's
us-
what I
it
want. I want to be like,
oh, I
you know
see what you mean.
You know what
I
I'm
see
saying?
what
Like,
you mean.
like
Yeah.
it's just like, right, yeah.
I'm just
right.
saying, like, I was in a 2.5-year relationship living with somebody at 19, and it was it was a lot, but it was just like, this person's taking care of me. I'm not paying any bills. I really don't have to come out my pocket, but like for groceries, maybe every once in a while, little food here and there, but like I'm really not coming out my pocket, so it doesn't hurt me. Like I remember, like he would come home from school. And like we'll be, come home from class and whatever, because we went to 2 different colleges. So like he'll be like, damn, can you make me like a breakfast sandwich? I'll go do it. Like I'm the type of person I will go do that because you will go do whatever for me.
So even now, right? You working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, maybe 40, 50
I
hours
don't
a
work
week.
40, 50 hours.
Let's say 40. I mean, standard 9 to 5.
I work like 30.
Do you feel still like you would do something like that, even though like now you?
I have. Like
With the level of urgency, right? Like that you used to have at 19.
I made some food. I made some breakfast before I had to go to work. I had to go to work at 9.
Why
I had to go to work at was like,
Somebody.
and I was like,
Another woman?
huh?
Can
No,
he?
And I was like,
the men
I was
was
like,
the
are you?
one.
I was about to fix
What?
myself. Listen, no. This not even nobody serious. It was just like I'm about to fix myself something. I'm like, nigga, like you want something? Oh, okay. And I did it like, but like I'm the type. You tell me one time I know how you like, and I made it like. He didn't even remember that I knew like, oh, how you like your eggs, how you like that's see, I be having that little touch. I remember.
No, you gotta be observant.
You say one thing to me like, oh, I like this specific Gatorade. Like I might have it when you get there. So that's what I'm saying. Like I pay attention to little things. Like that's why I feel like I want somebody to be like 100, like with me, like and give me that energy because I'll give you that. It's just I have to know we're on the same page. You can't just give it to the wrong
it's
people.
intentionality. That's what we're missing. That's what's going on.
But the men want a lot more. When you make yourself into a less than 1%.
You said submission, so I want to get into that. Like, what does submission look like for you?
Can you take direction without asking questions?
Because technically you're submitting to someone's trust, right? Like, again, you know, I always go to now you're driving a car, right? Like, I'm driving, you're my passenger princess. You kind of do technically submit your life to me because you're trusting me to get us to where we're going safely.
Yeah.
I could go off a bridge if I so choose. You know, Eminem had a whole song. Eminem put his girl in the trunk.
Yeah.
You know, drove off the bridge. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. So it's like, even though you might not be getting your way, or you still trust that, like, whatever the dude who you're with set the vision or goal for you guys, you know that he's going that direction. You're just trusting, even though you might not know the route that he's taking, you're like, I'm still cool with that.
If you want to go on a girls trip and he say no, you staying home?
Why would he tell me no though?
Because he just
Why
said
would
it.
a man tell you no?
Now let's say let's say it's within good reason. Let's say maybe he saw a hurricane was coming. He said,
It
"Look,
don't be no damn
I'm
hurricane.
just it do. Houston got a hurricane coming right now."
Okay, let's
He just don't want you going on a girls trip.
Okay, so
That's it.
he don't need to be for me because at the end of the day, why is a man trying to isolate
I'm not
you
trying to
from
say
your
this.
friend?
Listen, I
This
want
is
to
the point.
differentiate between
No.
somebody being controlling.
I've never told nobody.
Because I don't want to be like controlling and say, oh, I can't tell my girl to go. But if I'm just saying, I'm only saying for good reason, let's say for a safety reason. He's like, look, babe, I don't think it's smart. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying assumptions.
Here's an option. Here's the thing, right? Let's not say a trip. Let's say, okay, I want to go outside with my friends, right? And he's like, damn, babe, I just wanted you to stay in with me. That's a more
He
reasonable
paying all the
thought.
bills, Sierra. This is not a
I
man.
didn't
Let me
say-
tell you something. This isn't Joe Schmo from Chipotle. This is a man that's a less than 1% man. He's already paying all the bills.
She already did that.
I already did that. So you telling me like I don't like? I'm speaking from experience. I'm just saying like I definitely had a situation where I felt like it was being a little bit isolated, a little controlled. Like when I did live with my ex, I didn't really go out unless we both went out. Like I had friends out. Oh, my son called him. If I'm like, babe, I want to go out with my friends. He's like, babe, I wanted to chill. I chill.
All right, but what if you say like, hey, babe, you don't want to go to this club, and last week somebody got shot 2-3 weeks in a row, and I'm like, babe, maybe not this weekend. I heard somebody maybe going down. Maybe stay in the house this weekend. Just because I asked, would you now?
No,
Okay.
that's not
No,
I
So
did
it's like,
that.
y'all are watering down. I said submission is can you take direction without explanation?
Okay, so that's-
I don't want to have to explain to you why I'm saying what I'm saying when I'm paying all the damn bills. You've made yourself into
Blind
less
faith.
than
What's an
1%
example,
man.
though?
So for instance,
What's an example
you
of, like,
know
a
called your man. He
direction?
say duck. You sit here, why, baby? What I'm looking for?
You get shot.
Nah, something like that.
By
that time.
That's
Nah,
it.
something like that. Okay, let's take it like, okay, let's say like, I'm like, I just get in the car. I don't mind just turning my brain off. Like, okay, we're in the car. I'm with my man. Cool. I don't even care what we going to eat because I know he's going to take me somewhere good. I know we're going to do something fun. Like, I don't even care. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't even need a phone. I'm just here with you. I actually like that.
But we just talking about like listening.
What do
Like
you mean by listening?
like for
though?
instance, even though like he said, he used a like maybe the example was a little too
She-
outrageous. but
she essentially said no. That and to be fair, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a girl. I'm not saying that there are not girls
I don't
out there
think I
like that.
said no.
But no. I'm saying like
Outside of black culture,
like
it
he
is.
really means like your girls say you want to go on a
Gosh.
girls trip, and he says I don't
Yo.
want you to go, and you cool with it. You just like all right, my man don't want me to
But
go.
I'm
not
saying
going.
like I don't want to make it confusing
I
like
feel like
like a
that's kinda
controlling
nuts, though.
situation
That's a
though. But
little
like
That's what I'm saying, and I do feel like
'Cause if there's
most
no
women
reason? What's
are
the-
gonna
No,
feel
I'm
like
just saying,
that.
like, okay, right. That's
I
the
can
whole
see
point.
if the trip was on
No
his
good
birthday
reason.
or something.
I'm cool with that. If it was a reason that was
No, but
No, I'm
Armani
saying-
is saying he pays all the bills, so he's saying I don't need to give you a reason. If I said you're not doing something,
Okay.
you said you were gonna submit to me, so you're just not doing it.
Okay, but no, that might sound a little controlling, and I see that. All I'm saying is, if Armani said that with a good reason,
Armani's saying he shouldn't have to provide a reason. He
I'm
paid
just
all the
saying,
bills.
okay, cool. I'm just saying, even if he did give you a reason, is it not compelling enough for you to say, you know what, my man said, you know what,
If he
he's
gives
not
a good
feeling some
reason,
kind of way.
yes. We both said yes.
It doesn't have to be good to
Yeah.
you. I'm just saying, it's a good reason to me.
I don't see a man telling me I can't do something for just I've never been in that situation. I've gone on girls trips in a relationship, and I was never told no, you can't go. They sent me money to do it.
No, I'm
Like,
not saying he said
that's
no, you
what I'm
can't go. I'm just saying,
So
like,
what-
if he
I
gave
just
you a
feel like-
reason, like, babe, I don't feel comfortable or I don't feel safe because you're my responsibility as my girl, my wife, my whatever. I think it's maybe you skip this one trip this one time.
I just haven't been in that situation, so I don't know how I would react.
But I'm saying, okay,
So-
hypothetically, if you the man of your
No.
dreams,
The man of my dreams would not be acting like
I'm
that.
just saying, but if he did ask you,
Okay,
The issue-
maybe this is the example. So you want to go on a girls trip, and he says y'all are trying to save to go into a new house, and so he's like, we shouldn't do frivolous things right now because we literally trying to save for this house. So that's a good reason.
I don't even want to give you the
I'm
example.
not-
I know
I'm
you don't
not-
want to give the reason. We off that.
Yeah.
So if he says, you know, he doesn't want you to go because y'all are saving for the house. You could say, I have my own money, I'm gonna go anyway, or you could just listen to him. You know, we're trying to save a house, and you can stay at home. What you gonna do?
I feel like it just depends, you know.
He
I
got
feel
the
like if you're-
vision.
I feel like
That's my thing is like you can't. Okay, if you want a man that's taller than you, stronger than you, more
you don't gotta
competent,
be taller than me. Short kings is cool too.
you prefer a short man.
I don't prefer anything. I'm just saying, short kings is cool.
You want a
too.
man that's taller than you, stronger
pocket's
than you,
not short.
more competent than you, right? So if he's already more competent than you, then he needs to lead. And leading is, I have the vision. I know where we're
Competency is a
going.
spectrum. He might be more competent in certain things, but not everything. But I feel
We
like
lost
at the end of the day, if he really is like, listen, you don't need to go do that. If he's really dropping that bag, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna just be real. He is really doing it. But if I'm going 50-50, bye. See you in Tulum. Like, I'm gone. Like, you ain't gonna get 50.
So-
You gonna get 50%
so
submission.
submission is
50%.
conditional.
It's conditional on the money.
It's
We already
conditional.
knew that.
It's conditional.
He gotta make a
I
bag.
feel like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, once
But I feel like you
I
wouldn't
don't know.
date a dude if you didn't feel like that's something you wanted to do with him,
Exactly.
right? That's my
I
whole
feel like
thing. Like
marriage-
if
But
you
in every
date
other
him,
culture,
Marriage-
Jorge can work at the Home Depot and get submission from his wife.
He
can-
definitely can.
It's only in our
He
culture that you
definitely
can't
can,
do that.
because he's paying all the bills and he's figuring it out.
but
But
Jorge
he-
not working by
but
himself.
he
He's
not taking
working.
a Ruth Chris.
He's not.
He probably
They
took
live
her
below
to
their
the
means.
carne asada and she
But
get
they live.
whatever she
But they
wants
live below their means though.
from
They live below their
For
means. They live in
sure.
a regular
But
house.
they
They live
probably
a
go
regular
to they
life.
probably go to Marshalls every weekend and
Nothing
she
wrong
get
with
what
that.
she
That's what
want
I'm
out of
saying.
Marshalls and TJ Maxx. That's the lifestyle.
Nothing wrong with if you live
She
below-
has
yeah.
it. But the thing is, it's like Adam and Eve. You know, your eyes open to the world. You don't know what you don't know. She don't know about that lifestyle because this is the lifestyle he's providing.
Well,
for
social
her.
media has now
I'm
opened the
just
door for
saying,
those people to see that
exactly,
stuff.
Exactly. The rich people, you didn't used to see that on social media.
Now
Now,
you- yeah.
we flaunt our wealth. We post our things. Well, you know, not everybody, but like, I'm just saying, we collectively, we post our things. We post up in a vacation. We post up at dinner. We post up at a concert. So now it's like that person that doesn't have that, they're like, damn, like, look at these people. Like, they
That's
doing
what's
all
killing
this.
us
So
too.
You
let's
know?
let's end with a solution.
What's our solution?
One minute from everybody. Do you believe in a 50-50 marriage? 1 minute from everybody. Who wants to go?
I'll go first because it's not gonna take me 1 minute. I don't believe in a 50-50 marriage. I mean, I'm not married, so I don't know how that works. But I do want to be married, and I'm planning to be married in my future. I believe that, like, in relationships, whether it's friendships or intimate relationships, like, we all should bring our full selves, right? Like, I don't, like, when again, I'm not a dude that spends money on girls, but if I'm invested in a woman, I'm not really counting the cost, right? Like, it's just something that, like, you know, I'm gonna just bring my resources, my being, my person, and try to, like, invest and grow the situation. And I feel like that should also be reciprocated. So, you know, I'll leave it there.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
You gonna see her? You gonna go?
My turn. I feel like I believe in people should do whatever works the best for them. and whatever is the best for their situation. If it would benefit your family for y'all to be 50-50, it might not even be forever. But at this moment, if it would help the family, I feel like we should all do what would best benefit our family. If this is a marriage, because at the end of the day, I don't believe in anything's 50-50. Because sometimes somebody might be pulling 100% awake. Sometimes it's just a spectrum. So I feel like realistically, what I do want is a provider. However that manifests itself, and I will obviously, provide as well for my children. So I feel like the man should provide for the household, the wife provides for the children, takes care of the children's necessities. The kids might go to private school, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, I feel like these are conversations that should be held before we even get that far.
Facts.
You gotta date people that are like-minded. I don't believe in telling a man that he's not even willing or wants to do that. Like, don't try to force somebody into something they don't want to do. Just find somebody that's right for you. So that's my thoughts.
Diamond, what you got?
I believe like a percentage based system. So I feel like if your man is making 70%, like if you were to have the household as 100%, I feel like, and you put you and your man's paychecks together, I feel like if he makes 70% of the household income and you make 30, then he pays 70% of the expenses and you pay 30. That's kind of what I think that has always made the most sense to me. That's what I've discussed with my significant other. Like, and to me, like, that kind of just makes sense. Whatever is y'all extras money, like whether y'all want to keep stuff separate or throw it all together. But I do believe like the simplest thing that I think I've found and what I gave for like answers is like, y'all put it all together. If that person makes 70, you make 30, then it makes sense to split the expenses that way.
Yeah.
I think that's simple, easy, no arguments.
Yeah, my 50, also not to jump you,
Go ahead.
my 50-50 is not to, it doesn't only just include the money aspect of it too. Right, we're just looking at all the level of effort because, like, all right, so your man is,
I feel like when it comes to non-money things, 50-50. So, and then I feel like every day is not a 50-50. Sometimes you'll give 80. Sometimes,
right.
Sometimes I'll give 100 when you can't. I feel like the healthiest relationships, there is no percentage. It's who can do for you at that
who's
time.
available at the time, right?
And at no given time, like, I know it'll never be even, but like if you look over the course of a year, if you look over the course of 5 years, that should have somehow equaled out to 50-50.
That's a different conversation.
That's it. I was saying that's a whole.
Right. I thought y'all was talking about money.
We should have a segment about that though, because it's not just about the money though. It's about
it's a well-rounded picture.
Right, because I'm like, if your man contributing 70%, is he not doing, like, let's say you're taking care of the kids, is he not helping out as much because because there's a lot of work to make the money to now contribute 70%.
Right.
So then it's like, how are you, I guess, countering him on the other side, right? So maybe you're taking care of the kids more often because he's contributing.
But sometimes
70%.
we're working equal amount of time.
But
he
he's
just
the
makes
one
more than I
contributing.
do.
Yeah, but he's putting in more though.
True.
Even though
is.
you're working 40 hours, he's working 40 hours, but his
Right.
40 hours and his level of effort is producing $200,000-$300,000
I
a
think
year.
that's why a lot of men have their
versus-
wives stay home, because it's like if you're only gonna make $40,000 a year,
Stay home.
It's
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you going, like, you're more of an asset to the household. You're going to save money on daycare and nannies and such and et cetera and activities, because you could just take the kids outside or whatever it is.
Well, definitely bookmark what Mike just said, because that's a different conversation.
What?
I feel like
we did. That bookmark. We'll come back to it. Sorry, my bad.
Bookmark that for the next episode.
Let me close out. So
Yeah.
I think a man should be a primary provider. That just means above 50%. Typically because women can only look up and respect men that are making more than them. So that's the first part. One. The other part is, as a man, you should just strive to be a provider as well, just because, like, that's what we should do. But I think that
Let him know.
I do believe that, like, in an ideal state, you should be able to put your wife in a situation where if she needs to stay home with the kids to benefit them, that she can do that for a certain amount of time, whether that's 3 months, 6 months. Like, ideally, as a man, you should work to save up that money. I believe women should work. I don't believe in the women staying home and watching soap operas. I believe all hands on. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. But this is the What They Won't Tell You podcast.
Yes,
I appreciate
sir.
y'all, and that's it.